things are
Let me
happening
just.
live. I want to do it live. You know?
All right. Thought we were saving the live for tomorrow.
No, no, no. The last one was alive too.
No, I know.
Yeah, no, 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 no. Each one. I just felt like shit's happening. They might as well just do it. Also, shit is happening live, and then we're live, and then it kind of makes sense. You know, a little bit, at least a little
Mm-hmm.
bit,
Mm-hmm.
at least a little bit. Do you need me to send you a link again?
Uh, yes. And hold on. We might be able to go live on Instagram. Yeah, send me the link first though.
Uh, Turn that off. So I don't have to hear this motherfucker talk. I said this motherfucker like it's not me. Like I'm not the one that was talking.
What the
Da-da.
hell? I just got an email talking about, hey, your daily pay balance just went up. When the fuck did that happen?
Just right
Sons of,
now.
sons of bitches. No, I'm talking about when did they reactivate my account? I've been in
Just
Target for
right
like 2
now.
weeks now.
Say nothing. You know. Let me go out of this real quick.
And I
You
might put us live on IG too.
said might.
Yeah. Cause I don't know if I gotta figure out a way to make it so we're vertical. We're on top of one another. Uh
That's what she
it
said.
sounded terrible. Yeah. Um,
Look at me making a thumbnail and shit. You know, I had extra time because somebody was late.
sorry. I'm sorry.
It's cool. I actually want to start doing those now. I realize I kind of like it. So
Making the thumbnails?
yeah, it kind of draws people in. You know,
All right. So we are.
it
So I
gets the
put the
people
link up on the
going.
website. Now I'm probably going to use OBS to get us live on Instagram. Let me see here.
Oh, that's what I
Um,
wanted to do and I didn't fucking do it.
what?
I wanted to do the command Johns. So like, I'm gonna do it before tomorrow. I'm definitely doing it before tomorrow. It's like a Twitter feed that you could put down here.
Hmm.
Your camera's kind of lagged out.
Yeah, I know that does it. Does it every time I open OBS after I've already had Discord open. I don't know why.
It's kind of so what it is like a Twitter feed, and I could put like Twitter certain Jones. I could just put it at the bottom of the screen so they know what we're talking about. I'm gonna do that before the next one.
All right, time to make a new profile.
I'm gonna do that before.
Um. Okay.
I don't know why that song just in my head. It's just there. You say
All right.
something. You can't tell me nothing.
If I can get this together, this would be cool. All right. So I'm gonna make I'm gonna try and make. I need to log in.
Let that man get past.
You singing Kanye?
Yeah,
Was it Kanye? Yeah. I remember shit.
I remember shit.
I remember. I'm B10. I remember one. You ever see that episode of American Dad? When when Steve was in the boy band?
B12.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite fucking episodes. That in the episode that I just rewatched the other day when one of Roger's characters, one of his alter egos or whatever, went rogue. Yeah.
Yeah. It had its own
Sandy.
fucking life. Yeah.
Sandy, he came last night when you were gone. Oh, your tree. I'm so sorry, Sandy. What did he do to it? Sandy, he raped it. Yeah. The guy raped the tree. Let's see if this works.
I just added some music.
You added music?
Yeah, cause just waiting. Some waiting ass music. Some non-copyright waiting music. I mean, I'm gonna cut all this out because I actually want to hear what it sounds like. I just added some music. Alright, yeah, it's pretty chill.
All right.
I used to have two lights. One of my lights went out, so now I just put that one light that was over here, just like right behind my camera, and it does a good job, I guess.
Yeah. What do you? Oh, yeah. It does look. It looks pretty good. The
Also,
background isn't really lit, but
I changed my settings on my camera too to be brighter.
I gotta set up, or maybe I should. No, you know what? I'm stupid. I'm gonna make two. I'm gonna make two desktop captures. And then I'm gonna just split them. Yep. Wait. There we go. All right, so now we got two. Make this one a little bit smaller. All right, hopefully this works. Oh, wait. No, that's not gonna work. Delete. Video capture. Activate. Damn. I don't know how I'm gonna do it because we not. Cause we're you know what? I might just have to change my screen. How do I focus? All right. How do I change it? Is there any way I could change it like Zoom where I have like one, it only shows one of us at a time, but it shows the one who's talking?
I don't know, but I know you could click on it.
Yeah, it just shows damn. Oh, you know what? Can you, or I'll do it. Send me the thumbnail you made.
Okay. Through what?
Huh?
Through what?
Email.
Okay.
And that's what I'm gonna show on the screen on Instagram, but they'll hear our voices.
Cool. I just gotta switch back to this one. Why is that? Oh, it's right here. I just sent it.
Let me see. I didn't get it yet. Oh, got it. All right.
We haven't talked since the fucking NBA draft.
What do you mean?
We haven't had a podcast since before.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of shit to fucking uncover. Get into. Oh my god.
There we go. Wait. Okay. All right. I'm ready. I'm ready when you are.
Hold up. Ready.
Ready?
Yes, sir. Actually, yes. Oh,
All right.
Let me turn off the waiting music. All right. Test. You do yours.
Testing.
Cool. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good.
We are live. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the Lowlights podcast, the podcast where we talk about.
That's not the name of the podcast.
It isn't? Oh, this isn't the name of the podcast. This is not the Lowlights podcast. This is the Lowlights Network. However,
you're not even a part
it
of
is,
that one.
It is the, I know, wishful thinking. It is the Untitled Sports podcast presented to you by the Lowlights Network and Black Flag Entertainment, which, by the way, we are live streaming on YouTube, the website, blackflagent.online, and Instagram, which you might be watching right now. If you are, hello, welcome.
Instagram,
But
Instagram, yours?
no, the Lowlights Instagram.
Oh, for real?
Yep.
Oh my God.
So, hello and welcome. This is the podcast where we talk about basketball, mainly the NBA, mainly the 76ers. But today, I believe we are going to be talking about essentially what's happened since the NBA draft, a little bit of a review of the NBA draft, I believe, and the upcoming NBA free agency. So, first and foremost, Marquise, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
Nobody
pretty good.
cares. All right, listen, moving on.
Damn.
We're going to go ahead and we're going to start talking about the draft. I think neither one of us predicted Paolo going first.
I did.
You did? I thought you said Chet.
I said Paolo is the best player in the draft if I'm Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
I did.
But I don't think either one of us thought that the Magic would actually take him first. Did you?
I don't think I thought it, but I thought they should. I don't think they would, but I thought they should.
Okay. Yeah, I certainly didn't see that happening. I thought they would take Chet first. I thought the at most it would probably be how did I forget his name already? Second pick.
Jabari.
Jabari. I mean third pick.
Yeah,
Jabari Smith. Yeah, I thought it was one of those two. I think most people felt like they both had the most upside out of the top three, but I guess the Magic were, the Magic have good young players, so I guess they're looking to build rather than get somebody who will hopefully develop into a superstar. They're looking for somebody who's going to come in and contribute right away.
Like Paulo's ready. Like he's the most, like I said this last podcast, he's ready. Like he's NBA ready, body wise. I think mindset wise, he is NBA ready, and I think that was the best selection they could have made. It was smart, and now they have an actual cornerstone amongst all the other young pieces they have in Orlando. They have a cornerstone now.
Yeah, and I think he's gonna come in. I think he'll be pretty much immediately a maybe 10 to 15 point per game scorer.
10 to 15,
if not more. I mean, the problem. I don't think he's going to jump straight to the 20s.
I think he's going to be 18, 19s.
I don't know about
High teens, I think so. You want to make a bet?
I don't know about that. Only because, number one, they're going to play some really good teams who know that he's going to be the main guy. And the Magic are really guard heavy. Like, they have scoring guards. Like, I don't know if he's going to have the ball in his hands nearly as much as he did in Duke. So,
but I think if I'm the Magic, I will emphasize that he has the ball in his hands because he's my future. Like everybody else on that team,
that's true,
is expendable, except for I guess Wagner. I think I would keep Wagner, but everybody else on that team is tradable.
What about Suggs?
Suggs is cool, but he's showed already that, like in college, he is injury prone.
Yeah.
So Paolo, Wagner, they should get the lion's share of the shots. They're already not going to win a lot. It's the Magic. But still, I would emphasize that he gets those shots. Because look at what we did. Like Joel was literally sitting for 2 years. But once
that's true.
And Jalil was a starter. Once Joel got back, Jalil ass is on the bench. So
But he
it's
was so much. He was already so much better than Jalil, and I think even if because the thing is we only drafted Jalil because Joel didn't play.
right,
Like in reality, if Joel plays his first year, we never draft Jalil Okafor.
which is crazy. We
So
probably went the Porzingis route.
right, or even I would have hated if this happened, but Chris Dunn.
No, Chris Dunn
Um,
was the next year.
yeah, no, after I'm sorry, not Chris Dunn. Gosh, what is his name? Moutier, Emmanuel Moutier.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, because he was really highly rated, coming out of
He
college.
wasn't bad. I did Denver just kind of gave up on him
He
from the
wasn't bad,
excitement.
and he had some injury issues.
Yeah.
Um, but still, I mean, here at the end of the day, Moutier, Jalil Okafor, I think they both would have had a similar impact on the 76ers as a whole, which is little to none.
Hmm.
But I think, like I said, if Joel plays, we don't draft Jalil Okafor to begin with. So I think it was a lot easier to turn the keys over to Joel because we kind of knew that Jalil wasn't really the guy going forward, especially after the first couple of games when they tried to play him together, and it was really obvious that Jalil could not play with other centers.
Yeah. So I want to hop into this conversation. Um, the Kyrie situation. Like
Hmm.
literally, the title of this is Kyrie. Is Kyrie setting up the Nets for failure? I believe it is. I believe he is. Like he literally picks up his option, uh, just to basically. I feel like he's going to leave.
I think so too. I don't know what his options really are. Like, it's tough as far as like teams to go to or teams that he could possibly like teams that could want him. It seems like there's really just one, and that's LA. But I don't know. It's like I think he's holding on. I saw a report. It was a rumor that he's kind of holding on to the fact that he's friends with Kevin Durant,
He's using Kevin
and
Durant.
that
Yes,
yeah, it's like if you move me, KD is gonna want to leave. So he's kind of like holding that over the Nets
which is
because they don't
facts.
want to lose KD.
That's
But
facts though.
with him picking up his option, it's like he's giving them almost no choice but to keep him because there's nobody really who wants to trade for him.
He also has to prove himself now. This is a contract year. Like he has to prove
He
himself.
does. He does, but then he doesn't.
He does though, because it's
He
Kyrie.
he does to the Nets, but not to anyone else. If that makes sense. There are still lots of teams out there that are willing to overpay
Oh,
Kyrie Irving.
breaking news! Breaking news! Bradley
Oh,
Beal has declined his $36 million player option,
ooh, so he's a free agent.
which was expected because he's slotted to sign a 5-year, $250 million deal to return to the Wizards.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is that really smart?
For who? For
Both,
him or the Wizards?
both.
I mean,
For
no,
Bradley, he getting
no.
paid.
For Bradley, it depends on what his goals are. If your goal is just to get $250 million, then yeah, it's very smart. But I think if your goal is to win a championship, then no, it's not smart at all because you're kind of binding the Wizards' hands, especially since it's looking like the Wizards are going to try and trade with Denver for Will Barton.
Already
And
done.
oh, it's already done.
Uh, First off, Denver is stupid. And I don't
Yeah,
want to say they're stupid, but they're stupid. You traded Monte Morris and
yeah, and Will
Will
Barton.
Barton for Ish Smith and KCP.
Yeah,
That does not make sense at all. Monte Morris was under contract. Is a great backup point guard. Is
yeah,
literally the prototypical backup point guard. Who could start, come off the bench, doesn't matter. He doesn't, change up no matter what. He plays the same game. And Will Barton is just a bucky getter.
yeah,
KCP, like we've seen, KCP gets cold and then disappears.
yeah.
Like
Exactly.
he
He's
gets
a pretty good defender, but other than that, he's pretty much just a shooter, and if he's not doing that, then
KCP is
he's
probably one of the only people that can get cold offensively and get cold defensively. Like he will get cold defensively. Like LeBron literally
yeah.
was over there snapping on this guy because he wasn't guarding shit. So I think Denver messed that up. I don't know
Yeah.
whether this is a trade to clear space to go after something else, but if this was the move for them, they fucked up.
I don't understand it either. But either way, at the end of the day, I believe I might have to take another look at it, but I believe that adds salary for the Wizards. So if you're Bradley Beal and you want to make all that money, obviously, yeah, you can do it, but you're binding the Wizards' hands even further in their ability to go out and get somebody to help you win games.
Yeah.
But if you're the Wizards,
technically they did make that move. I mean, it's Kristaps, but it's not gonna get you that far.
That's not really it. That's not what's gonna really do it.
Yeah.
Like Kristaps, even if they do manage to win a pretty good amount of games, Kristaps we know is still pretty injury prone. So you still have to keep your fingers crossed that he actually plays enough games for it to make any kind of a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're the Wizards are one of those organizations, kind of like the Trailblazers or the I don't know, like they're it seems like their focus is just on remaining relevant.
Yeah.
Like
they kind of got that Indiana Pacer thing where it's like they're okay being okay.
Right. Like we just want to sell tickets and merch and just at least make the playoffs. That's it. If we don't win a championship, whatever. But we want to make money. Like it's a business, right? Which everybody knows the NBA is a business, but few teams see it as solely that. Like most of them still want to be competitive and win. But some teams, you can tell they're just like, we want to keep at least one superstar and keep them happy so we can remain relevant.
It's like Bradley
and
Beal.
if that's what the Wizards are doing, then sure, give Bradley Beal $250 million. But Bradley Beal and Kristaps Porzingis are not winning, and Will Barton are not winning you a championship.
Listen, if I'm Bradley Beal, I'm taking that money. For the simple
fact,
the
trade.
Yeah, take the money, request the trade. Like they can't take that money from you.
Yeah,
take it.
But at the same time, but if that's the case, that's not smart because now you're narrowing the field of teams who can actually take you. Because
somebody's gonna make
not just taking. They're not just taking you; they're taking that money.
Time out. If there's teams interested in trading Rudy Gobert, there is going to be a fucking team that will clear out to get Bradley Beal.
True. But how much are you going to give up? See, that's the thing. The Wizards are not rebuilding. If that makes sense? So it's like they don't want to trade Bradley Beal. So if they do, they're going to want a lot in return, as opposed to somebody like Rudy Gobert, who the Jazz might want to move. Mm-hmm. So they're going to trade him to a team that could use him, but they're not going to ask for a whole lot in return. Like they obviously want a nice return, but they're not going to ask for like your whole franchise.
Yeah.
Like if the Wizards trade Bradley Beal, they're going to ask for everything. So you're really like, even if you do get traded, who's to say the team that you get traded to is still going to be competitive after they move a whole bunch of assets to the Wizards in exchange for you? It's like the Kobe situation when we're talking about when Kobe requested a trade initially to the Bulls, and the Bulls, like LA was asking for Luol Deng and like all these other places, and Kobe was like, "Well, who's gonna be there when I get there?"
Right, basically rebuilding. I'm
exactly
from the same situation I'm about to head into.
Exactly. So there might be teams who clear out for Bradley Beal, but at the same time, it's like, well, what's gonna be there when he gets there? You're better off taking, if your goal is to win, the goal itself is detrimental to making a lot of money because you really can't win. You can't be the newcomer to a championship team and make the most money.
All right.
You just can't. Like, that's just not how it works. Even when KD was with the Warriors, Steph was technically making more money, I believe.
Steph was not making more money.
No?
Steph was Steph.
KD. KD was signing shorter contracts.
The reason Steph that they had cap space for KD, one, because they let Harrison Barnes walk.
Yeah.
And two, because Steph was still getting paid $11 million off the contract he signed when he was like injury prone.
Yeah.
So they had cap space.
No, I'm talking about after. I'm talking about after he got there. Because remember, after KD got there, they signed Steph to that supermax.
Yeah, but the fact that he still had that 1 year when he made $11 million. They had that flexibility to make that thing. And I want to hop into.
But what team is in that perfect situation right now?
Nobody. That's a once in a lifetime situation that a championship team is going to be in.
Yeah. So like Brad. Like that's a you're right. Like it's a once in a lifetime situation. Typically, you can't go to a team that's already competitive, that's already like a contender, and you come in making that much money. The only exception that we've seen recently was the Sixers, and even then, they had to give up Ben Simmons, who was making a lot of money, and two other pieces. Like I think Seth was making like what? 12 million, 8 million, and Andre was making like 2. So they had to give up 3 players. One was, perfectly fine, but if you look at any other team in the league that's competitive right now, like they don't have a $40 million player just like that laying around that they don't want. So you're gonna have to give up a lot just to make the money work to get Brad. And if that's the case, like I said, what's going to be there when he gets there? So it's you taking that deal just to request a trade. It might not actually work out because there's like only a handful of teams that are going to be able to take you. Mm-hmm. Like if he does that, he can kiss going to the Sixers goodbye because we would have to trade Tobias and other pieces for him. And if that's the case, we'd be left with
nothing.
Like we would literally be left with like 4 players. We would have Joel, Matisse, Tyrese, James, and Brad. We would have to trade Tobias, Furkan, Shake,
and then we would have to live off of mid-level exceptions like the fucking Lakers do. And,
exactly.
I'm not for that. I'm not going for that at all. In about 7.5 hours, we will hear a decision. James Harden still has not made his decision on whether he will opt in or opt out. There's reports saying that he will opt out, sign for a 3-year deal, so the Sixers can land P.J. Tucker. And I want to hop into that P.J. Tucker thing. It's damn near confirmed that P.J. is coming to the Sixers on a 3-year, $30 million deal. Or 3-year, they said ranging around $30 million. But the thing is, we don't have the space to do it yet. So how the hell is he going here? It just report that came out today that Sacramento is interested in trading for Tobias Harris. And I want to touch on that situation, that whole first we haven't even talked about D'Anthony Melton, the addition of D'Anthony Melton.
Right.
Trading Danny Green, I knew, like literally we said that there is 100% certain Danny Green is not going to be there. Yep. When we traded Danny Green, I did not expect for it to sting like it did. I don't know why. I don't know why, but it stung. And knowing that the guy who's probably going to be the next one out is either going to be a combination of Matisse, Shake, and Furkan, or Tobias as a whole. Losing Tobias is going to sting like shit. Yeah. Because not only did he show progression, but he had to go through some shit. So when he gets traded, like it's going to like when he comes back, if he gets traded, there's still an option that we keep him and we move all the other little pieces. But if he gets traded, that shit is going to hurt. But when he comes back, he's getting the standing ovation though.
Oh yeah, he's getting the TJ treatment. Even better maybe. Yeah. But it's like breaking up with a girl because of long distance. It's like really like you didn't do anything wrong. It's just not working. Yeah. Like it hurts more than if you like really were mad at somebody. It's like I really wish it could work, but it's just not working. Like
And
It's the contract situation.
and like I said before, you were
like,
going to trade Tobias Harris for somebody who plays like Tobias Harris.
yeah, you're gonna trade Tobias Harris and immediately start looking for a cheaper Tobias Harris.
Yeah. And that cheaper Tobias Harris might be in Sacramento, and his name might be Harrison Barnes.
Perhaps. I mean, perhaps. But if I'm not mistaken, Harrison Barnes' contract is almost up, right?
He has one more year left, yes.
Yeah. So,
but bird rights.
As long as he doesn't, well, yeah, bird rights. As long as he doesn't, if we were to trade, for Harrison Barnes, as long as he doesn't try and like request a whole bunch of money next year or expect a whole bunch of money next year, and I hope Daryl Morey and Elton Brand, mainly Daryl Morey because Elton got us into this situation. I hope they're smart enough to know that just because he works for the team or he fits, I should say, doesn't mean that he's worth a max contract or a whole bunch of money.
See, because like one, if you trade and you're trading Tobias, you're most likely going to have to package Matisse Thybulle. You're most like Matisse Thybulle or a draft pick, to Sacramento, because you gotta if you're doing that, you're most likely doing a salary dump,
right.
And I would there is some pieces in Sacramento, plus Harrison Barnes, because Harrison Barnes' contract just won't do it, because I think he gets paid 22, which is reasonable, which is something Tobias should be closer to. But we're desperate, so we give him max contract. I think Harrison Barnes fits in because one, Harrison Barnes has no problem standing in the corner. He shoots, he's a catch and shoot guy. And Tobias became that sort of, but it was more so forced than it was natural. I think
he was always much more of an on-ball guy.
It works both ways because Sacramento needs a guy who can get buckets. When he wants to. I mean, Tobias for real was almost an all-star before we traded him. Traded for him in LA. So maybe he goes back to that. Darren Fox is there, Sabonis is there. Maybe that could be a play-in trio, I guess. That's what they're looking for in Sacramento.
I mean, I would even go as far as to say perhaps like a I guess I keep forgetting it's the play-in still, but I was gonna say 7th seed. But yeah, I mean, it also depends on like what's going on with, because I haven't been paying quite as much attention to the status of Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray, but some teams might actually jump up in the standings this season from last season, like a Denver, or depending on what other trades they make, perhaps a Utah or LA. Utah was already pretty high, but like Phoenix might drop. So, they might be, if the Sacramento Kings did pull off that trade, they might be a little bit more competitive than people expect, because Portland's not going to be as competitive as last year.
And they have a more free-flowing offense. Whereas though our offense is Joel's going to get double team, kick out, shoot.
Yeah. It's literally Joel and James in the half court, and then Tyrese in transition.
Yeah. So, and if you're signing PJ could play the 4. Like, it's weird to say you're gonna put somebody 6'5" at the 4, but PJ has played center, so like I feel like he's okay with that.
And that's really that's a perfect lineup, because you get two players who are interchangeable between the 3 and the 4, and they both can knock down threes.
Mm-hmm.
And
PJ did shoot 41%.
They're both good defenders. Yeah, and
they're
both
41% from 3. And I think one of the things Anwar said is that he's sometime a minus offensively. So is Matisse Thybulle.
Exactly.
Matisse Thybulle.
I would argue he cannot be as much of a minus offensively as Matisse. Now Matisse is a good cutter. He makes good cuts. He obviously catches lobs. I haven't seen PJ catch too many lobs.
I haven't seen PJ dunk it in years.
Yeah. So Matisse's athleticism is a plus. But as far as just like skill, I would say PJ's more skilled offensively than Matisse for sure.
Yes, for sure. He stands in the corner, Corner threes, that's what he's known for. Obviously, not so much in Miami, but
Yeah.
Miami.
And PJ sets good screens too.
Yeah, dude just like fucking 240. And like
Yeah.
he's legit
He's
a
solid.
fucking power back.
Yeah.
I think he.
I would be okay with that if we could pull that off. It would sting, like you said, but I would be okay with trading Tobias if that was the lineup we finished with.
And that frees up cap like shit.
Exactly. So we could go out. We could sign the backup
plus,
center.
Yeah, and we in a world, I don't think we would keep Matisse. Even if we trade Tobias, he might be in that trade with Tobias.
Yeah.
But having maybe a lineup of DeAnthony Melton, Matisse Thybulle, P.J. Tucker, a potential Harrison Barnes, and Joel Embiid, defensively, nobody's fucking with that. Nobody's fucking
not
with
at
that.
all.
It's just on the other side. I mean, well, Harrison Barnes can get buckets, so it's
exactly. Harrison Barnes can get his own shot for sure. He's not as good at it as Tobias.
What did he shoot?
He's not as good at it as Tobias.
We don't need him to be that. We don't need him.
Exactly. Exactly. But Anthony Melton, I would say, is better offensively than Shake.
Yes.
So
he's not scared. When he shoots, it doesn't look like he has a backpack on.
Exactly. So I would say that we're still improving at least a little bit. Not to mention we still have George Niang on the bench as well. So we still have some offensive firepower. I would say the thing is, like, you can't. It's always about the balance between the starting lineup and the bench.
Yeah.
Some teams have a great bench, but their starters aren't as great. Some teams have great starters, but their bench sucks. That was us last year. Mm-hmm. Like, we had great starters, but our bench was subpar.
We looked good in the beginning of the year, though.
We did. It was a much more balanced team.
And the Sixers have to make space. Like,
right.
They have to make space. You can't sign PJ with all these guys on the roster. You have to make space. Obviously, James Harden factors in. If James Harden opts in, you have to trade Tobias now.
Yeah,
you have
all of this is centered around what James ends up doing.
Because, like, if he opts out, signs a shorter deal, you can keep Tobias, but you have to trade some little pieces. But if he opts in, you have to trade Tobias. Like, you have to.
If James opts out and takes a shorter deal, you could move Matisse, Furkan,
and Shake.
You
have to move all three.
Yeah, and you would have enough space to sign just PJ.
Yeah. So is that,
but
I
believe so.
George, PJ,
and Isaiah Joe and Charles Bassey.
All right, so I want to show you this. Tobias Harris attempted 3.8 threes last year and shot 36% from the 3-point line. Harrison Barnes, on the other hand, shot 4.7 and made 39%. That is what we need.
Yep.
That is legit what we need. Somebody who does not have a conscience. When they get the ball, they shoot it. Yeah. And that is exactly what we need. Oh, breaking. Holy shit. Momentum is building towards a DeJounte Murray trade.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. I heard they're like Atlanta and New York are really looking at DeJounte Murray. Dude. And New York is, if Dallas does not offer Jalen Brunson the money that, the max, like, New York is definitely willing to give him that money.
Also, if you're listening to this later, you're listening to this on the live, we are going to be doing a free agency special tomorrow at 5:30 is where we're going to start. Obviously, it doesn't start till 6 o'clock. I'm expecting it's going to be trades before that. The reason I want to do this live is because shit like this is going to happen. If it's shit like this is happening now, tomorrow is going to be absolutely hectic. And tune in tomorrow 5:30, the Low Lights Network. We're gonna have other places, right? It's gonna be other.
It'll be the same. It'll be the same as today. So we'll be live on Instagram like we are now. We'll be live on the YouTube channel, the Low Lights Network YouTube channel, and we'll be live on the website blackflagent.online.
Ooh, breaking news again. Bobby Portis has declined his player option, and he's now a free agent. And Miami automatically has interest in Bobby Portis.
Of course.
They got to replace PJ.
Yeah. And that's
so
a great
crazy.
Replacement.
That's
a great replacement, but Bobby doesn't defend on the perimeter as well.
No, he's not. He's a solid big body on the interior, but he ain't doing that.
But he can shoot for a big man. He can shoot fairly well, and he's
fucking hot.
Exactly, and he's a pretty good interior defender. But I mean, at the same time, Miami. I mean, you got Kyle Lowry, you got Jimmy Butler, you got perimeter defenders.
Mark Stein just tweeted out, momentum is building toward an immediate DeJounte Murray trade. League sources says known suitors are Hawks, Knicks, and Timberwolves. Ooh, Timberwolves trying to make some move. They need some defense.
What do you think? So what? D'Angelo Russell?
D'Angelo Russell makes too much money.
What would the Timberwolves be giving up? Because DeJounte Murray makes like 20-something million.
20, maybe a little bit less than that.
Or no, it's like 19.
Yeah,
it's like 19 million. Yeah.
I mean, I can always fact check it. I mean,
because I remember he was making about the same amount of money as Sabonis, or maybe a little less. Maybe Miles Turner.
They got some pieces they could trade. DeJounte Murray contract.
Interesting.
They just re-signed Taurean Prince too.
The Hawks makes less sense than the Timberwolves to me. The idea of DeJounte Murray and Trae Young, that doesn't make as much sense to me. Because
DeJounte Murray is making less than that. Damn.
What?
$16 million this year,
wow.
17 next year. That's a great contract for somebody who's just an all-star and average 18, 8, and 8.
Yeah, for sure.
Not a good shooter, but
yeah,
defensive mastermind. And him next to let's say the Hawks trade for him. Hawks have a lot of things they don't need. They have a surplus of a lot of shooting and things like that.
Yeah.
Him next to Trae Young, who's terrible defensively, the playmaking both of them could provide, that could be a scary
it could be really
duo.
Interesting.
Definitely.
It could be sort of similar, even though neither one of them were particularly good defenders, but sort of similar to what we saw with Kyrie and James when they were both healthy, having two guys who can play on or off the ball, who are good playmakers, but one of them is more of a sort of natural scorer, while the other is more of a natural sort of facilitator / point guard. But I think I don't know, I did see that report earlier, and it actually said that John Collins was not reportedly a part of the deal.
I don't think they would want him because I feel like he has a ceiling. I don't feel like he's an all-star. I feel like he is a rotational player, a souped up rotational player.
Okay.
Like an above average starter. I don't think he's an all-star player. Definitely young talent that can develop. Oh my God, my phone keeps going off.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I always feel like once somebody gets under Popovich, that's when you start to see
who they really are.
Some of their potential, like what they can actually be.
That's why they went out on a limb and drafted Jeremy Sohan, who I didn't expect to be drafted to the late teens. They drafted number 9. Let's hop into the trade that happened. Obviously, we traded Danny Green for our 23rd pick for DeAnthony Melton. What do you just think about DeAnthony Melton?
I like DeAnthony Melton. I think he's a really good backup point guard, especially for a team who doesn't really have much of a bench.
Mm-hmm.
And he can literally come off the bench and just be whatever he wants to be. He's not gonna have to come off and be like we're not. It's not like we need defense. Put Melton in.
it's not like, oh, we need 3-point shooting, put Melton
He's
in.
both.
It's like yeah, just put him in and just let him be great. Like let him do what he does. And it's kind of like Seth, but Seth was more of a natural scorer. With Melton, I think you can just put him in and just be like, all right, look, just do whatever you got to do to put points on the board. Whether it's getting assists, whether it's shooting threes or driving to the basket, whatever it is, he can do it.
I did not know he was as athletic as he was.
Oh my God, he can get up
and
hot, like up. And it's sneaky too because he doesn't move.
6'2".
It's not particularly. Yeah, he's not big and he's not particularly quick either.
He just rises.
Kind of like Matisse. Like Matisse moves fast, but he never looks like he's moving that fast.
Yeah.
But then he just jumps and it's like, oh shit! Like,
and
how did he get up there that fast?
I don't know if this is me getting old or what, but he's only 2 years older than me. He was born in 1998.
Okay, so he's 4 years younger than me.
24 years old. Just turned 24.
That's a good trade.
Jesus.
You get a little younger, and you get more athletic. You get a improvement on your bench, which was what we needed the whole time.
Also, it seems that they just pushed back Danny's guarantee date. It was supposed to be at the end of this month, but they pushed it back to the end of January to see what Danny is. So I think they're trying to keep him, but they want to see what he looks like before
Memphis?
before Memphis guarantees his money.
Okay.
Because he would be getting paid $10 million. So they want to make sure he's good before they guarantee that, which is smart.
Yeah.
Which is very smart.
Good for Danny. I mean, I am glad he at least got traded to a team that's on the rise.
Yeah. And he could help them, like honestly help them. He's a good locker room guy. Sad, like literally was sad to see him go. But, this is a business and we need to compete.
As long as he doesn't pull off, an Iguodala, I think Memphis will be happy to have him.
Pull off an Iguodala. And then he left and won a championship. So, I mean.
Exactly.
I mean,
they beat them on that road to a championship.
Yeah. Yeah, but Memphis, if I would say one thing about Memphis seems like they could be the next dynasty.
They do. It's rare you see a team that has that many good players that were drafted together, that were drafted to the same team as opposed to like trades. Yeah. They're all young together. That's honestly Golden State was the last time we saw something like that. LA had a chance, but they traded everybody to get LeBron and AD.
Typical LA shit.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I don't know. There's not really any other team that I could think of. Oh, but maybe Boston. Like, they drafted Marcus Smart, and then 2 years later, or a year later, Jaylen Brown, then a year later, Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
So that's close, I guess, but still, like, I don't know. I don't really think Boston has the same level of potential that a team like Memphis does. Only because Memphis is really, like, deep. And they're young, and they have a certain like edge to them that Boston doesn't really seem to have.
I have a new question now.
Yeah.
Why are the Spurs trading DeJounte Murray?
That's a good question. I think the Spurs. Well, let's listen. The Spurs organization is not stupid. Like they're a smart organization.
100%.
They've managed to remain relevant even through years when they didn't have star players.
DeJounte Murray, just to remind everybody, was the 29th pick.
Right. So they make good decisions as far as personnel goes and things like that. I think the reason why they might be making this trade is because I think they know that as good as DeJounte Murray is, he is not the answer. Like, they need to draft somebody. Like, the Spurs right now don't have the pieces to go out and get stars in free agency. Like, they just don't have enough other good players to really attract big-name free agents.
Literally,
so you're much better off.
Asset to attract stars is the coach.
Exactly. And that that alone isn't really always best because we've seen LeBron say over and over again, I want to play for Pop. I want to play for Pop. And he's never I don't think he's never even considered it.
Yeah.
Like seriously in any free agency decision. So, that's not enough. You need other star players. And as good as DeJounte Murray is, let's face it, he's a fringe all-star. He's not a perennial all-star.
He was a replacement.
Yeah. So you're better off if the goal is to get back into championship contention. You're better off moving him for draft picks and trying to just draft as well as possible because we know that they can. We know that they're good at drafting.
Hell yeah.
Like we've seen it, before over and over. Like Lonnie Walker is another good.
They made one of the biggest finesses in NBA history, trading George Hill for Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah. And then I believe they ended up getting Hill back anyway.
No. Hill
went. I thought they did.
Hill went to. They got Patty Mills back. Patty Mills played there, went to Portland, and they came back.
So
George went to Indiana.
So I think they're like, you know what? Let's bet on ourselves a little bit, get a bunch of draft picks, and just draft well. And eventually, they're gonna put together a team that's young, like Memphis, that's young and has good talent. And then the combination of that and Popovich will get you some free agents. Because remember, the last time the Spurs actually got a big name free agent was LaMarcus Aldridge. And he went there because at that point in time, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili were still there. Yeah. So since then, they haven't been able to do it. So they're really, I think they're starting to realize that, like, you know what? We couldn't make it work with LaMarcus and DeRozan. There wasn't enough around them. Mm-hmm. And DeJounte is not enough by himself. We're not picking high enough to get a superstar or to increase our chances of getting a superstar. And we're also not winning enough games to be a free agent destination. So we gotta
goes back to what I said last episode. The worst thing you could be is in the middle of the pack.
Exactly. Which the Wizards are perfectly fine with, but the Spurs are not. So I think this is like a preemptive move. Like, let's just get out ahead of this now, get as many picks as we can, because we know the next draft is going to be great.
A target I want, it just came out 37 minutes ago. I'm like constantly updating my feed. Somebody who we should probably try to go out and get is Juan Toscano Anderson.
Yeah.
Actually, somebody I really want to come back because he's an NBA player. He's just been flying around G League, NBA, who I really liked and who's one of Joel's like best friends, but he actually was effective. I'm not just saying it because he's one of Joel's friends, but it's Justin Anderson. Why is Justin Anderson not on a NBA roster on an actual like rotation spot? Like he made it. And
not only that, if we can't get PJ, Justin Anderson could be that guy, that dog. You know what I'm saying? Like he has PJ's that mentality.
Huh? PJ's in our back pocket. He's coming. He's on the way.
Yeah, but if we can't, even if we could, actually, in addition to that, like Justin Anderson he gets into people's faces.
Remember that Miami Heat series when him and D-Wade was going at it.
Exactly.
That's what I'm like.
So I would be perfectly fine with having Justin Anderson back, and on top of that, he's a good defender, and he's pesky. Like he gets on people's nerves. Like you need that,
and also keep your fucking franchise player happy. Keep him happy.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know, I'm not saying to you to fucking go get Hollis Thompson. Like I'm telling you, like
Luke Mbamute.
Yeah, I'm not telling you go fucking find them. I'm telling you, like he literally played in the NBA last year. Like he was on the Pacers. Remember, he fucking said Joel for MVP.
Yeah, and I'm all for bringing in guys on low contracts, like as low as like league minimum contracts, just to be bodies on the roster. Like if it was up to me, if I was the owner of the Sixers, like bro, fuck it, I'll throw $900,000 at Michael Beasley. Why not?
Why not?
Like just to have him. Like you got guys on the bench who never play, making that same exact amount of money. You're telling me each one of them is better than a Michael Beasley or a Justin Anderson or a Lance Stevenson? Like.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
When you look up Justin Anderson, it says current teams with an S. Philadelphia 76ers and Atlanta Hawks. So apparently he plays for both fucking teams.
Apparently,
I mean, Justin Anderson. Let's look at his shit. Because I remember, like, I remember when we traded for him. We traded him from Dallas to get for Nerlens Noel.
yeah.
He shot 25% from three. I don't like that.
I mean, he wouldn't
like
be
that.
a 3-point shooter. He would be coming in to be a defensive irritant.
Replace Matisse, kind of.
Essentially, to do the same to play defense, cut to the basket and catch lobs and
Okay.
make athletic plays at the basket.
Okay. Also
Get buckets and
I want
transition.
to talk about before we hop into other shit, because my phone is literally constantly blowing up. I have like Shams, NBA Central, and Woj on fucking noties, so they're always posting. I want to talk about the players that we picked up. Undrafted free agents, and one in particular that really stands out to me is Sacramento Kings will let Dante DiVincenzo. Yes, Dante DiVincenzo enter free agency. Okay. One player that we signed to a 2-way contract that I really like in particular is Julian Champagnie. He is a defensive guy who can shoot. Like, he shoot it like with confidence. He obviously has developed some other NBA things. But like that like we should have an episode when we make bold predictions and do like predictions for like awards predictions. We should do that. If I had a bold prediction, I would say Julian Champagnie makes our rotation.
So real quick, I'm looking at the chat and Instagram live. We have JNW518, JNW _518.
Yo, Jalen.
Yeah, he says, what's the topic? So the topic is upcoming NBA free agency, and also sort of a little recap of the draft and some of the moves that have been made since then, or may be made, or have been reported since then. That's what we're talking about today. And he also says we ain't pick NB up, and then some laughing emojis. I don't know who NB is. I probably know, but I can't guess it. Who is NB?
Just say who NB is. Yeah, but we got some dogs. I like Aminu Mohammed, who's another 2-way guy.
Undrafted,
yeah, out of Georgetown, 6'5", 7'2" wingspan, defensive potential. Another guy who shoots with confidence. Shot 38%, I think, last year in college in Georgetown. We gotta get guys who does something. We gotta start with the project drafting. Like,
get somebody who's already does something really well.
Like Zaire Smith was a fucking project.
Yeah,
Jaden
and it
Springer
never worked
is
out.
A fucking project.
Yeah.
Get players who can do something, bro.
After a while, the guys who are just athletes but aren't particularly skilled in like any particular area, like it feels like the NBA is honestly moving away from that, because there was a point in time where people were being drafted based solely on athleticism and potential. It seemed like the Evan Turner year, and even John Wall. Like John Wall was
I'm sorry,
great point guard, but he was athlete.
James Harden has declined.
Yes.
Has declined his player option.
I'm glad.
Intends to return on a contract in free agency that gives team financial flexibility to bolster the roster.
Yes.
The roster.
Yes.
That's
James.
what the fuck I'm talking about, James. That's what I'm talking about, James.
And here's the thing: if you want to win, this is what you came here for. So fuck the money. Fuck the money.
Fuck the money, man.
Like you've made enough money. He's had what, 2 max contracts already?
Yeah.
So it's like, bruh, if you came here to win, you got to do what's necessary to win. Joel has already signed his extension. He's already making his money. Tobias is already making his money. This happened before you even got here. If it's on you to make the sacrifice, then you got to do it. Joel probably would if he could.
Yeah.
Tobias probably would if he could, but
He probably would for
You
other
know.
reasons because he's tired of hearing people here talking shit about him.
Yeah, that too.
Hey,
But
listen. This is the right thing. This next season looks more promising. It gets me a little excited. I'm not gonna lie. Harden's so focused. Win a title in Philadelphia next year. Harden returned to work out on court sooner than usual this offseason, pulling in his full focus on 2022, 23. That's what the fuck I like to hear.
exactly.
That's exactly what I like to hear, bro.
Listen, if we can manage to get P.J. Tucker, I think that legitimately, if we can manage to get P.J. Tucker, and if we have to, because we might not have to trade Tobias, but if we have to trade Tobias, and we could get viable pieces in return while at the same time cutting salary, I legitimately think we have a better chance of winning this year than we did last year.
I got a question. Do you think Daryl Morey and James Harden already have a contract in place?
Probably.
Because, like, if you intend on returning, I feel like that there's something said that you agree upon.
Yeah. Because I think the reason why he went down to the wire with his decision to opt in or not is because he was literally just choosing between the contract that was offered versus the 47 he would get now.
I'm assuming he's going to get obviously more money over 3 years, and I'm pretty sure he would get probably less if he gets in that 30, 27, 30 range, a year. That benefits us a lot. And then. Even if you still choose now, if you choose to move on from Tobias, now that's a whole bunch a cap because that's $17 million left that he would be making, plus $30 million out the door, $37 million out the door.
Yep,
that's a lot of cap space that you get a Gary Harris, who I really want them to think about trading, to think about signing. This is just good. Everything is looking good. I appreciate that. He wants to win the championship. I like that. That's the reason. That's one of the main reasons he left Brooklyn, because those two already won championships, and he didn't feel like they cared enough.
And I think because they've already won championships, what we're seeing now with Kyrie, this would have pissed James off. Mm-hmm. Like this whole situation of his contract and like this game of chicken that they're playing between the Nets and Kyrie. Like, I think this would have pissed James off. Mm-hmm. Even more than him sitting out because of the vaccine thing.
Shout out James Harden one time, man. This
is about absolutely nothing except you being greedy.
Yeah. This is winning time. This is winning time. Joel probably hype his shit right now.
I'm sure he is.
I'm sure he is. Right now.
I mean, I would be. See, the thing is, too, Joel's so used to stars leaving. Mm-hmm. Like JJ left.
Not only you
might
back,
not consider. Some people might not consider JJ a star. Yeah, exactly. Like JJ left, Jimmy left. Like guys got traded. Ben quit on him. Like this is the first time Tobias and James are the first two stars that Joel has played with who have actually decided to stay. So I'm sure he's extremely happy, and I'm sure he probably feels like, even more invested in James as a teammate.
Yeah. I mean, they already
because I'm sure after the Jimmy situation, he's probably not been quite as quick to get close with guys.
And then you lose Jimmy, you get Al Horford the next year.
Yeah.
You trade Al Horford immediately the next year, and then the following year, fucking Ben quits on you.
Right. So it's like I'm sure after all this, I'm sure he's sort of, and then I mean that's part of growing up too. You're not as open with people, new people, as you get older. So I'm sure that along with just the history of some of the things that have happened with other star players on the team, he probably hasn't been as open or willing to get as close with James as he probably will be now, since James has shown not only his commitment to winning with the Sixers specifically, but also that he's willing to do what's best for everybody. And depending on the deal that he signs, it might be a long enough deal that he's like, all right, this guy's going to be here a while. Like, let me actually, like start building a legit friendship with him.
Because, everybody know Joel's in the fucking gym right now. Like, Joel
And he probably isn't supposed to be, but he's
not.
probably there already anyway.
In the gym, because I remember Ann, his girlfriend, the mother of his child, like is posting from he bought a house recently, and like
Yeah.
he not in Philly, but like outside of Philly, just outside of Philly, and like she's posted in there. So
Okay.
he's still here. He's still here, and I respect that, dog. Like, listen, I don't deserve to take a vacation yet.
I mean, I didn't expect him to go anywhere because he had to get surgery.
Yeah, that too.
So I didn't expect him to really go anywhere.
Only got surgery on his thumb. I thought he was going to need it for his face as well.
No, just the thumb. But it's like his dominant hand too. So
Yeah, that's a shooting hand.
so that limits you in a few ways, more than just shooting.
A lot of
So
people,
I'm sure I didn't expect him to, between the way the season ended and having to get surgery, I didn't expect him to like take a vacation.
says
I
right-
expected him to be here, probably take time off, but not take a vacation.
Josh Reynolds says a lot of people owe James Harden an apology, man. Do pull the Tom Brady by
Absolutely.
taking less money to give Philly flexibility to make a squad around him and to be better. He clearly wants to win. It needs to be talked about. You're a real one.
Absolutely. I don't think anybody in Philly owes James an apology because I don't think we've ever. Obviously, we didn't know what was gonna happen. Some people are split. Like, hey man, get your money. Some other people are like, we need you to do what we need you to do.
What you're paid to do.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think the people who were mad at James Harden, who are Sixers fans, it had nothing to do with money, because we know that James is actually worth the contract that he had,
Yes.
as opposed to Tobias, where it's like, bro, it's the opposite.
We
Like,
were like, hey, bro, listen, Jimmy.
yeah,
left
like we love
already.
you, but you're killing us with this contract. As opposed to James, where it's like, we don't fuck the contract. We just need you to play.
Because like,
we need you to just be James Harden.
James is still an all-star.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he's still going to make an all-star team. He's still going to do these things. I mean, he was second in assists, averaging 10.3.
When you get to a new team and you immediately start putting up near triple-double numbers with assists, like in the teens, you're worth, high 30s. And like, you're worth it. Even if, by the time we get to the playoffs, he's a little bit drained. But I think now having a full year with Joel and Tyrese, will probably and having a full year post thigh injury, hamstring injuries. Yeah. I think we'll see a different James.
Hopefully he comes back. He's healthy. They say he's working out earlier than he's ever done before. So hopefully this means, everyone stay healthy. Please, knock on wood, bro. Everyone stays healthy, and this could be a very interesting year. Going into the year, I don't think I've had the most, like, I'm hyped for this year.
Yeah,
I've never been hyped going into any year. Because
2021, I was pretty hyped. Not this hype though.
What year was that? I
mean, 2021 was the first Doc Rivers and Daryl Morey year. So we got
Curry, Danny Green.
Yeah, we got Dwight and Danny and Seth, and we moved, obviously, Al Horford's contract. That was the first year that I could remember being like, all right. Even before the season started, I was like, okay, we got a legit shot.
I wasn't even hyped about that, because Ben Simmons was still there. I knew that the problems would reoccur.
But you know what? I thought so too, but I thought that team was the perfect team to mask that. Having Danny and Seth next to him, I thought would be the answer, and Tobias obviously would be the sort of the answer to the Ben Simmons issue, because you have a secondary ball handler. You have in Seth, you have the guy who Markelle was supposed to be, and in Danny, you have a 3-and-D wing who's a champion, who's a winner, who is a good locker room guy, and then in Tobias, you have a stretch 4 who can play adequate defense and also get his own shot.
See, the Ben Simmons issue, nobody can fix a Ben Simmons issue because Ben Simmons is still the issue. That's why I
Yeah.
never really was like, okay, we're gonna get to the playoffs. They're gonna key on Ben. They're gonna sag off. Now James Harden, fully healthy James Harden, even when he wasn't on shit, they was respecting the three because they knew he can hit that. And once he start hitting some, you gotta respect it. You gotta play up on it more. And now he becomes more of a facilitator. It becomes easier to him.
But see, I'm still not ready to 100 because with James, even when he wasn't hitting his shots, he still pissed me off. Because like not hitting your shots doesn't piss me off nearly as much as not shooting.
Yes.
Like Ben not shooting is like all right, Ben not shooting is like all right, you're a bad shooter. I can understand why you're maybe a little afraid to shoot. But with James, when he was looking like Ben, like he wasn't shooting at all in those fourth quarters in like games 5 and 6, I think.
In game 6, he shot 4 for 9. Bro, you only
in the
took
whole
9
game.
shots.
In the whole game.
Yeah, 4 for 9.
So it's like,
he played 43 minutes. Had 11
So, like shit like that is what pisses me off. I don't care if you're not hitting your shot.
Oh shit!
If you're not shooting, that's the problem.
Atlanta Hawks are trading Danilo Gallinari and multiple first-round picks for DeJounte Murray.
Yeah.
Oh shit! DeJounte's coming to Atlanta. Okay, like I said, that's going to be a duo. That's going to be I mean, he's not going to pick up because Trae Young is probably the worst defender I've ever seen in my life. But it works. It works better. DeJounte Murray, obviously the full deal is not out.
Worse than Isaiah Thomas?
Yes, because Isaiah Thomas tried.
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas tried. His little ass was trying. Like his little ass was trying. Smaller than Trae Young. Let's all throw that in there. Smaller than Trae Young. Obviously, people was like, Trae Young's not even 6 foot. That's what they say. Trae Young is not even 6 foot.
I mean, Isaiah Thomas isn't even 5'10", so
yeah. Like, remember when he went into the stands in Philly, and he was talking to the person that said they was booing him because they wanted the Frosty?
Yeah, what?
He was shorter than them.
Yeah. He said, "I'm sorry, I just wanted a Frosty."
Swaps. Oh, I got two different things. The Hawks are sending 3 first-round picks and future pick swaps to the Spurs for Murray, All-Star guard. That is going to be a fucking it's going to be interesting. Now we got to worry about the fucking Hawks.
Yeah,
we have to worry about the fucking Hawks.
Because the Hawks also like part of the reason why they weren't as good last year was because of injuries. It wasn't anything regarding like actual players like leaving or just not being good. Like they were still a good team. They just had injury issues. So the Hawks are definitely a contender in the East.
Question.
I wouldn't say they're a championship contender yet.
For the Hawks, this is a playoff move.
Yes.
You still have John Collins, who you could still flip.
They're still a legit, I think, 5th or 6th seed.
So for somebody to move in, who comes out?
Of what? The playoffs?
Yeah.
In the top 5 or top 6, I guess.
The
who comes out?
Let me
that's
refresh
a tough one. Because
your
it was,
mind on whoever
you know what?
all
Toronto
comes out. So this is everybody who made it. This is all 8 seeds. Miami, of course, Celtics, Bucks, us, Raptors, Bulls, Nets, Hawks, Cavs. Hawks were the 8th seed. Yeah.
And Cavs were what, 9th?
Cavs were 9th. Obviously, the play-in factors in.
Yeah.
Cavs and
the Cavs might take a little bit of a step forward because they're going to be getting Colin Sexton back.
Mm-hmm. They got to pay him now. They got to pay him.
They got to pay him. Yeah, you're right.
And he's asking for upwards of $20 million.
I think the Raptors possibly take a step back because they haven't done anything. They haven't fixed any of their issues. Obviously, they'll probably be healthier because I know Fred was dealing with injury issues. But other than that, they haven't made any moves to improve or anything. They don't have any players coming back who are going to make a difference. Whereas everybody else, like obviously Boston, Philly, Brooklyn, Miami, like they have the most talent. But out of those other teams, Atlanta, Toronto, Cavs, like even Charlotte, like those teams are actually making moves except Toronto. Atlanta's making a move. Colin Sexton's going to come back for the Cavs. They got to pay him, like you said, but still, he's healthy now. Even Charlotte's about to get a new coach. It's unfortunate they couldn't get Kenny Atkinson. I'm sure they're upset about that, but who knows? Them getting a new coach might be what they need. They also, I believe, are looking to possibly move Gordon Hayward's contract. What happened? Oh.
My phone is about to die.
Oh my God. All right. But yeah, but you know, Charlotte and Toronto are probably the two most stagnant teams. I would say
Charlotte has a better core though.
Charlotte does have the better core, but they're in a worse position. So they're not going to get bumped down because they were already fairly low. I mean, they were in the play-in, but I think Toronto is the one that's going to get pushed out.
And they got moves to make with the Miles Bridges decision.
Exactly. And they were thinking I heard reports that they're thinking about moving Gordon Hayward as well.
Miles Bridges might not get the contract he wants because he did some dickhead shit.
Yeah, I did see that.
So
I mean, that's the thing. Like that Charlotte team,
it's super young.
They're crazy like young. They're not like Memphis young, where they're just like uberly competitive and like talking shit. Like Charlotte, they're getting into some shit like off the court, like nothing to do with basketball. Like Miles and his music, LaMelo was like, I think he posted a picture of like and I think LaMelo posted a picture of like him drinking lean, or maybe that was Miles.
That was Miles. Miles was smoking a blunt and drinking lean.
Yeah, it's like,
and he was trying to cover it up saying it's pink lemonade, bro. Listen.
Yeah, and then fucking Miles, because apparently one of his friends who's also a rapper had a line talking about if Charlotte don't drop the bag, then we go into the Pistons. Like, sir, you can't do that. Yeah, but you can't say that. Like, you're not a part of the NBA. You're not an NBA affiliate. But at the same time, people are going to see that, and that's going to play into their decisions to offer Miles any kind of money. Not to mention the fact that his off the court antics are going to also play into Detroit's decision to offer him any money.
Yeah.
Because they really legit might not need him now.
To be alive, bro. Like, we need you to be alive to play, bro. Like, you got to be alive to play. Drinking lean and do all that shit. And obviously, you know, you're a grown man, you do whatever the fuck you want. But like, if you're talking about a professional league where it's televised in multiple countries and it's business at the end of the day,
and you can't do whatever you want. You still can't even. Well, you're not supposed to play games, even smoking weed. Like lean is a whole nother issue. Yeah. Like you could legit get suspended. Like you can get drug tested and get suspended for multiple games for that.
We got some trade details on the trade that just broke. The Hawks are sending the 2023 first-round pick via Charlotte. Ooh.
Wow, that's a good pick.
And their own 2025 and 2027 first-round pick to the Spurs. The deal sources tell ESPN. That was Woj. Dog.
The Spurs.
They didn't even trade their pick.
The Spurs are gonna have two really good picks next year. Between the Charlotte pick, if it's not protected, between the Charlotte pick and their own pick, they're gonna have probably two top 10 picks.
Question: is it time to free Greg Popovich?
Does he want to
retire? I don't know.
I was gonna say, like, because the Spurs are gonna offer Greg Popovich money as long as he wants it.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Greg Popovich's future is up to no one but him.
There's only
he's like the coach version of Steph. Yeah. Like the organization is gonna come to him like, what do you want to do?
Only two coaches in the league that has job security if Greg Popovich does not want to be a coach anymore. And that's Miami and Golden State.
Yep.
everybody else will drop their fucking coach in a heartbeat. Darvin Ham, we just hired him.
Perhaps
You
Milwaukee.
can go, bro.
Perhaps Milwaukee.
No. They've been Mike Budenholzer.
You think they'll fire Budenholzer after he's been won a championship 2 years ago?
Fucking hot seat for like 4 years.
But they just won a championship 2 years ago.
They don't care. They don't care.
That's interesting. I mean, I don't know. If it was Philly, that'd make sense. But I didn't see Milwaukee as like that kind of.
No, they team. Legit were before that year. That
before that, sure. But they just won.
They don't.
That's what I'm saying. Now I think Mike's earned some job security.
They don't care, bro. Like they don't. Like literally, if you look up Mike Budenholzer, there's like 17 fucking fire him accounts. Like he was literally been on the hot seat. Like they believe that not like it was a fluke, but it was a year where everything aligned up perfectly. Versus him being a good coach.
Yeah, you might be right. I mean, for sure, Spoelstra and Kerr are not going anywhere.
Everybody else is up for grabs.
Everybody else is literally up for grabs. I mean, yeah.
Literally.
But at the same time, if Pop leaves the Spurs, he's not going to coach anywhere else. Like he's retiring.
Yeah, I would think so too.
I think he literally wants to just be like one team for his whole career. If anything, he might move into a front office role where he doesn't have to travel.
He could be moved right up. I mean, at one point, wasn't he the GM and the coach?
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think R.C. Buford has always.
I know Doc was with the Clippers, and he got like heat for signing Austin Rivers.
Yeah, I think R.C. Buford has always been the Spurs GM for a really long time.
Listen, that Spurs franchise. Listen, we need to steal some people from that shit. Man.
We tried.
Remember, we was about to sign Manu. We was about to
remember Brett. Remember we hired Brett Brown because he was under Popovich. So we tried.
We chose the wrong one. Ime Udoka was right there.
He was. We've had so many, bro. We've had so many assistant coaches that were probably better head coaches than Brett Brown. Under Brett Brown, we had Ime Udoka. We had Mike D'Antoni. We had what's his name? Monty Williams. Like we've had even. I don't know. He got fired eventually, but even Lloyd Pierce had some success in Atlanta, like coaching that
he got fired
team
his
when
first
they were
year.
like. I thought it was the second at the end of his first year.
Yeah, he got fired halfway through because Nate McMillan took it, and then they went on that run to BS. Breaking news: Robert Kelly signs a 30-year deal with the prison.
I was like, there's a basketball player named Robert Kelly. He needs to change his name immediately. I was like, that's a terrible name. I would know. There's no way I'm keeping that.
He signs a 30-year deal, man.
With the prison.
With the prison.
Good for him.
Good for the prison.
I'm happy. I'm good. Yeah, good for him. I'm happy. That's where that's kind of where he's found a home. He's found, his forever home.
Listen,
the place where he should have been the whole time.
I feel like he should have been there the whole time. It's a perfect fit for him.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a lot of teammates that will love to interact with him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Especially when the lights go out. I think when the lights go out, I think that's when everybody's gonna truly perform, and he's gonna be I think very.
It's about the work you put in when no one's watching.
Yeah, they're gonna put in a lot of work when nobody's watching.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're gonna allow it.
Yep. There are great locker room guys, and then there are great locked room guys. And I think Robert Kelly is
it's great locker room guys, and then there's great locked away guys.
Yeah, I think Robert's gonna shine in that role.
I think he's definitely gonna shine in that role. 30 years. It's a big contract. Big contract.
Yep. Big contract. Not a lot of money though.
Not a lot of money. He made his money. He
did.
he made his
money and spent it. So he's good.
Yeah. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be good.
Yep.
Man.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm since you brought up Popovich, has got me thinking about Doc now. I still don't know how I feel about Doc yet.
Doc can go. I listen. I've been an advocate. Fire Doc, promote Sam Cassell.
Yeah, you have been saying that.
I want it. I want it not just because it seems like our assistant coaches are golden, but
Yeah.
because I feel as though Sam Cassell would be a worthy replacement for Doc. Also, the players are very much behind him.
It's so tough. You know what's crazy? I've always been an advocate for new coaches, like first time head coaches in the NBA.
Also,
Because in the NFL you see it all the time, but in the NBA you don't really see it as much. Coaches just bounce from team to team. But when it comes to the Sixers hiring a first time coach, I'm always scared. Like I'm all for it with other teams, but with the Sixers, I'm like,
but like I said,
but what about Larry Brown?
but like I said, every year for the last 6 years,
yeah, you're
there's
right.
been
No,
a
you're right.
first-time head coach in the finals.
Yes.
Doc has already been there. Sam Cassell has not.
Yeah.
Let's get him out. You know.
Doc has been to what?
Also
Two
former
finals.
players.
Right? Oh no, just one.
No,
No,
two
how many?
Two.
Yeah, two.
2008
and 2009, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Lakers won the two.
2009.
2009. No, because the
Was
Lakers,
2009 against the Celtics?
I thought 2009 was against the Magic, and then 2010 was against the Celtics.
No, 2000. No, I think 2010 was against the Celtics. I mean, against the Magic.
NBA Finals 2009.
2007 was the Cavs. 2007 was the Cavs and the
2009 was
Spurs.
the Magic.
And 2010 was the Celtics?
I am about to look right now, and I think it is. Yes, 2010 was the Celtics.
Okay.
These games were low scoring like shit.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my God. 67-89, 79-83.
You know why?
Defense, bro.
And not as much 3-point shooting.
Kendrick Perkins was a starter. So,
You know, it's like that was the era of like the mid range. Not I wouldn't say the era, but like those years, mid range scoring was like it was like the highest for a long time. Like there wasn't nearly as much like back to the basket post up play. There was a lot of mid range scoring. Kobe, Rip Hamilton,
Tim Duncan.
fucking Paul Pierce, LeBron. Like there was a Tim Duncan, yeah, Kevin Garnett, Elton Brand. Like there,
David
like most of the highest scorers were like high mid range shooters and mid range scorers. There wasn't a whole lot of like purely like 3-point shooters, and there were almost no back to the basket scorers.
Dog, like, come on, like my phone has been dry. It was just going crazy. Come on, man, you gotta give me some more. I'm hyped up, especially for tomorrow, man. Tomorrow is going to be crazy. Once again, we are going to be streaming tomorrow at 5:30.
Yeah,
free agency
5:30 p.m. Atlantic. No, what is it? Eastern time.
Eastern
Atlantic
American time, because we do have people from other places, other countries watching. Yeah, this is gonna be dope.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
I can't wait.
Like I wanna stream. We've been recording for hour 30 minutes. I want to do another 30 minutes just in case some shit happens. But after that, I feel like once we stop streaming, some crazy shit's gonna happen. Like Tobias is gonna get fucking traded.
Because we're starting early tomorrow, we'll have a half an hour to talk about whatever happens tonight.
Yeah. For sure.
And we obviously, if you're watching this now, always, of course, follow us on our social media, Instagram, Twitter, because me and Marquise will, of course, be posting about whatever happens, even during the times when we are not streaming or recording.
Have you logged into the Twitter account I just made?
Not yet. All
right, so I made a new one.
Okay.
It's the same login for Instagram.
Got it.
Cool.
It's so much happening. So let's get
Breaking
back.
news. No, I'm sorry. I'm just practicing.
Let's get
for
back.
tomorrow.
Let's get back to because there was one team that hasn't really done much of anything yet, but they were a good team last year, and I'm intrigued to see if they do anything, and if so, what? Because they have a star player who might be on the move, and that's the Bulls. The Bulls haven't done anything.
I actually think the fact that DeJounte Murray was traded makes me think that Zach LaVine is going back.
To the Bulls,
because Zach LaVine was linked to the Spurs. Obviously, DeJounte Murray, him, both from Seattle. And I think he's going back. I think it was reports that said he's going back. Obviously, they could offer him the most money. My phone just went off. Okay. Chris Haynes has expected to enter free agency. That is a reporter. Both ESPN and this is legit what they just posted in the midst of all this shit. It says both. God. Lie to you not. It says.
Is that like their way of saying, "Hey, Chris, you're fired"?
Look, Chris Haynes is entered. I use probably backwards, but it literally says both ESPN and TNT could be in the hunt for Haynes. That's actually dope as hell. What if they start doing that more? Like when Woj become a free agent.
I don't want that to happen because I don't care which company Woj works for. All I want to see is you tweet, sir. I don't care who's paying you.
Oh shit! Paul Reed just tweeted out, "Measured my vertical today. I started at 28 inches. Now I'm at 34. Just gonna keep working until I hit 50."
That's impossible. Nobody hits 50.
Listen, if anybody can do it, it's Paul Reed. Legendary Paul. Legendary Paul Reed can do it.
If anybody could do it, it would have been Vince Carter, and he couldn't. So,
also, I think I said this. Dante, the Sacramento Kings are declining to offer Dante DiVincenzo a qualifier offer, which means he is an unrestricted free agent.
Nice. I like DiVincenzo.
I do too.
Villanova guy, of course. Shout out.
Nova.
My favorite college team. Who's your favorite college team?
Basketball?
Yeah.
Villanova.
Actually, now that I think, no, Villanova is not my favorite. It's probably my second favorite. My favorite is Duke.
Oh my God, you're a Dookie.
I love Duke.
Dookie.
I love Duke.
Dookie. Say it.
I love Duke. Christian Laettner is probably my favorite all-time college player.
J.J. Redick is my all-time favorite college player.
Okay. That's not a bad pick either.
I love the, especially when he played against Maryland.
Oh yeah.
I really like that. Obviously I wasn't watching basketball. This was like 2005-ish, 2006. But yeah. I went back and I watched it. My favorite college player before J.J. Redick, before I really started watching J.J. Redick, I think was I forget. He wasn't shit. He wasn't shit. I don't think he went to college.
And how was he your favorite college player?
It probably wasn't Sebastian Telfair.
Oh my God.
I love Sebastian Telfair.
I didn't watch Christian play either. At least, not live because I wasn't alive yet.
I was.
No, you weren't.
When JJ, no, I'm talking about when JJ was.
Oh, yeah. But I really like Christian Laettner. I really like Christian Laettner for some of the same reasons I really like AI. AI is my favorite basketball player of all time. Christian is my favorite college player. I think they were both very misunderstood individuals, and I think they used that as fuel in their competitive fire.
I think you say
AI obviously. What'd you say?
I think you say the same about JJ. Like JJ,
for sure.
Literally, there should be a documentary about JJ Redick.
For sure.
He had the DUI. He had the, he was trying to deal with the shit that was going on.
You know what's crazy? Most of the people who hate Duke because they think they only recruit white guys or rich black kids or from really good families or whatever. But that's not actually always the case. But
Grayson
because
Allen.
of Grayson Allen, yeah. But even Christian Laettner, who people hated because he was handsome or whatever, and he was white and he was really good. like he actually had really humble beginnings, and he wasn't like a douche about being, handsome. Like he didn't really care about it. People offered him money to like model and stuff, and he was just like, well, I'm a broke college student, so of course I'm gonna do this. So
Money
it's
that
like,
money, bro.
yeah, so it's like, he was a janitor. Like he was doing work study in high school. Like he was the janitor at his own high school. Even AI, like people thought was a thug and like all this other shit. And it was just like, bro, he's literally just been an athlete his whole life. Like all he's done is play sports. But because of some shit that happened in a bowling alley where some other people actually started it, but because he was there, he gets the bulk of the repercussions. And then all throughout his career, the people call him lazy and all this other stuff for not really like practicing or whatever. But it's like you can't show me a guy who's taken the game of basketball, like the game, maybe not practice or the other shit, but the
Not
actual
practice.
game,
Practice.
the actual game more seriously than Allen Iverson, except maybe Kobe Bryant, maybe. Like nobody's taken, like once you step onto the floor, taking it more seriously than Allen, Kobe, and maybe MJ. Like those are the three players that I think of who have literally never taken a game off.
I was literally reading it like before. Me and Tyrese did podcast. Did you see?
What?
You didn't see it when I like put it up?
No. I'm my screen is showing the thumbnail.
Oh, okay. I have the Earth book in my hand.
Oh, you were reading it?
Yes.
How you like it?
I like it. Like I'm gonna finish it.
Told you.
Finish it. I saw boobies.
Told you. Yes, they are there. Also, Larry King's penis. Did you get there yet? Did you see Larry King's penis?
No, I did not see it. I'm not looking for it either.
Yeah, it's in there, and it's impressive. I'm sure it's not really Larry King's penis, but
impressive.
It's in there, uncut in both ways. And both ways, I mean that uncut.
Are we talking about?
But
I found it.
You found it?
I'm not going to show the full thing. But
Okay. Yeah, you don't do that.
Yeah. And it goes down.
Yep.
Put it over here.
It's impressive.
I'm on page 30. Oh my god, I'm like 2 pages away from this.
Oh, I spoiled you.
Yeah. I would have saw this and I probably would have called you. It was like, bro, what the fuck is happening right now? Yeah. Yeah. I'm like reading. It's very funny as shit. I just want some more rumors, bro. Come on.
You got to see, because Jon Stewart got the Mark Twain Humorist Award this year, and it's basically like a comedy award, like a Lifetime Achievement Comedy Award. And when it happens, they have a big ceremony at the Kennedy Center, and a bunch of different people come up and give speeches, like people who he's worked with or his friends. And I didn't realize just how many people Jon Stewart put on, like Steve Carell, Stephen Colbert,
Steve Carell's the GOAT.
Olivia Munn. Like there's a lot of Ed Helms. There's a lot of like comedic actors and comedians who started their careers working either with or for Jon Stewart.
Ooh. Patty Mills has reportedly declined his 6.2 player option. Hey, Patty.
Interesting.
Hey, Patty.
Now, I wonder what that means for the Nets.
They're fucked.
Because Patty Mills, I mean like, Patty Mills obviously has more information on this Nets situation than anybody outside of the organization. Mm. So him deciding to do that means there's something going on that makes him believe that he should either go elsewhere, or the Nets are about to have a lot of money to offer him.
Patty, come to the Sixers, bro. It's so crazy that Patty was so happy to get Ben Simmons there. Oh, another Australian, and then
I don't
immediately
even know
fucking leave.
why. I don't even know why, because in reality, from what we've heard from the different reports during the Olympics or before the Olympics and during, the Australians, a lot of them don't really fuck with Ben.
Yeah, but not
Like,
Patty. Patty and Joe Ingles, I think, kept high hopes for Ben.
well, I suppose, but
And Matisse was already used to it, so
yeah.
he was already going through it.
So it was interesting because I heard that was a pretty significant part of why he was not with the Australian national team during the Olympics.
Oh,
because a lot of the players just didn't fuck with Ben.
They didn't fuck with it.
So that's interesting, and it's especially because obviously Patty Mills is a professional. Like, so him saying good things about Ben doesn't necessarily mean that he's super hyped about playing with Ben.
I think Patty Mills is one of those guys who could convince himself, even if he doesn't feel that way, could convince himself to feel
Oh, sure. Of course. But now with all this turmoil going on in the Nets organization, maybe now it's like, all right, it's just not worth it.
He was like, Ben, you said you were going to play.
Yeah,
what the
exactly.
fuck happened, dude?
Like Ben still didn't play. Kevin and Kyrie's at a standstill with the organization over money, and Kevin is contemplating leaving. So
I mean, well, he did opt in.
Kevin opted in, but that doesn't mean he can't still
Kyrie.
be.
Yeah, Kyrie.
Oh, Kyrie opted in. Yeah, Kevin's still under contract.
Yeah,
but
Kevin signed the extension.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they won't, request a trade.
Report: Lakers have picked up team options on both Stanley Johnson and Wenyen Gabriel. What they had no choice but to do because they have no money.
Right. They have no money. They had absolutely no choice.
I'm going down some smaller things I might have missed in the midst of all the crazy shit happening. Knicks trade Nerlens. Oh, yeah, Knicks traded Nerlens Noel and Alec Burks to the Pistons for cash.
Yeah, I did see that, and that's part of that move. That's part of their
Brunson.
Efforts to hopefully get Jalen Brunson. Yeah,
see, this is my whole thing. They traded the draft pick on draft night in that confusing ass trade.
Yeah,
all this for Jalen Brunson, who.
Well, I think at that point on draft night there was still some skepticism on whether or not Kyrie would be available.
It's more so to me, which was confusing, is that Jalen Brunson is a solid player, but you're doing all this for somebody who's not even an all-star, who never been on an all-star team, who you're just shooting a shot in the dark right now.
Well, I think with Jalen Brunson, it's more so what he's. I think if you look at Jimmy, I think Jalen is in. He has sort of a similar mindset where he turns it on. He turns it up in the playoffs, which is what the Knicks need.
Who did he give 40?
Huh?
He gave a team 40 in the playoffs with Luka was.
I think twice.
Was that Phoenix?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that happened twice because he had one game where Luka was playing.
38.
38. Yeah. He had one game where Luka was playing and they both went off. So yeah. So if I'm the Knicks. Jalen Brunson's a great signing. I don't know if I'm offering him $30 million
but it's the
a year.
Knicks, though.
Yeah, exactly. So they might
do it.
But I mean, their biggest issue is the playoffs. They can get to the playoffs. Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, like that's it. What's his name? Their center,
Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson, and then Derrick Rose when he comes back healthy. Like that's enough to get him to the playoffs. But you need somebody who's going to step it up when they get to the playoffs because Randle does the opposite. Randle takes a step back in the playoffs.
Randle had a year where he was a fantastic, and then followed that with poop.
Yep. And I think he's now in a position where I think he might be questioning. He's questioning whether he even wants to play well with the Knicks. Not whether he wants to play well, whether he wants to play well with the Knicks.
I would think somebody like
because he's already got his money.
I wouldn't do that to myself. Like, I'm not going to sabotage my play. If I'm not going to play, I'm just going to sit. I'm not going to sabotage my play, having people think that I'm less than where I am.
I mean, like I said, he's already got his money.
He's still more money to be paid.
Look at Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin went 2 years without dunking, then gets to the Nets and he does it in like the first 2 games.
But that's dunking. Dude was still playing.
No, I know, but I'm saying like Blake Griffin was not playing up to his highest caliber with the Pistons. He had some games, but I'll put it to you this way. He did enough for teams to remain interested in him.
Mm-hmm.
I think Randall is in the same boat. I think he's done enough and he's going to try and do enough to keep teams interested in him.
I want to come back to this, but I also want to say that John Wall got his buyout, only gave back $6 million. So he just got deposited $41 million. I don't know if it's just like that or they were to stretch it out over a year or something like that. But either way, he's getting $41 million. I don't know what this contract is with the Clippers, but I'm pretty sure it's probably a minimum. Like, dude, you just got paid $40 million. But Clippers were looking for a point guard. And they tried Reggie, they tried Rondo, but John Wall fits that point guard role that they need. And the last time we seen him, he wasn't that bad. He wasn't bad at all. He actually averaged 20 and 7, I think.
I think it's a good idea, and I think it looks good on paper. I think they're going to have the same exact issues as a team like LA and Brooklyn. You put together. No. I don't mean like as far as fit, like game fit. I mean, you put together a team of 3 stars that are all injury prone.
Like, he's attempting 6 threes a game?
Like the Nets, Kyrie, James, and KD. James wasn't injury prone before getting to Brooklyn, but he had some body issues.
Yeah, he was
as far as like his weight
during the playoffs.
Right. Kyrie is injury prone. KD had become injury prone in his later, in his last like 2 years with the Warriors. And now, LA, LeBron, and AD, I would say, are both injury prone. Neither one of them play a full season and will never play a full season, most likely. And now you put John Wall with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, who are both also injury prone. So it's one of those things that looks good on paper, but will they actually play together?
So if
they do, how many games do they play?
If they do, I think it works well.
If they play together, it works well. Same thing with Brooklyn. That's what I was saying. Like if they play together, it works.
This is a way better situation than Westbrook in LA.
Oh, for sure.
Paul George and Kawhi can shoot.
Absolutely.
Bron can shoot, but AD is not.
But still, even with Westbrook, one of the biggest issues was that the 2 guys who are supposed to be his running mates are in and out of the lineup. Mm-hmm. So it's like Westbrook, as good as he is, he's not carrying a team that's built around LeBron. Like, if Westbrook is going to carry a team, it has to be a team that's built around Westbrook. Like, a team that's set up for AD and LeBron to succeed is not the team that's going to do well when AD and LeBron are gone, even if they have a Russell Westbrook.
Yeah. Kind of the same thing when a team is playing without their best player and they get talked shit about, but it's like when it comes down to playing in the playoffs, you're going to have your best player. You know what I'm saying? So
well, usually.
Yeah.
Usually, but the Lakers, I mean, shit, their last couple games, they didn't have LeBron. Their last like stretch of games, LeBron was out. So they couldn't even really make a run for the playoffs. So, like, you could say, had they all been healthy the whole year, sure, and come playoff time, it might have been a different situation. But we'll never know. We never got to see it because they literally couldn't stay healthy. They couldn't stay healthy enough to secure a playoff position.
They was like, they said, James Harden's first game back in Philly, the crowd was going stupid.
Oh, of course.
They're going stupid. You sacrificed for us.
He is too.
Yeah.
He is too. We already know James, when there's no pressure, is elite.
Mhm.
I mean, James is elite, period. But James with no pressure and
See,
a great co-star is one of the best players in the league.
I don't even think that it was ever pressure before, because we hated Ben Simmons so much that him just playing the game, playing at all,
Yeah.
was like, okay, all right, well, let's cheer for him. Cheer for him. We're going to cheer for you loud as fuck because we want the other guy to know how much he fucking missed out.
Well, I don't think with James it's pressure from fans. I think he puts pressure on himself, and I think it's the pressure from the media because he's built up this reputation of a guy who folds in the playoffs and who folds in big moments. So I think that's the pressure that's more so weighing on him rather than I don't think he's worried about getting booed. I don't think James cares about that like Ben does. I think for him it's more so the reputation and the impact that it's had on his career as a whole. Because as great as James is, did James make the top 75?
Yes.
As great as James is, the thing that's holding him back from being, I think, what most people consider one of the greatest shooting guards of all time.
People put him past AI.
Like, huh?
People have moved him past AI.
Some people have, not everybody. It's not consensus. And I think the reason why is because of his playoff performances.
Listen, AI won a cultural ring. Like, he didn't win a championship, but he won a cultural ring. That's why people talk about
he carried a team to the finals.
Yeah.
And his route was literally one of the toughest routes. Like, I don't know if there's been a tougher route to the finals, except maybe Dirk in 2011.
All right, so somebody just came into our YouTube chat. Thank you for coming through. Please, feel free to drop a sub. And he says, are the Nets really getting DeAndre Ayton? So there was a rumor floating around that it would be DeAndre Ayton for, I think, Nicholas Claxton and some picks, I think it was. I could find it. But if they could pull that off, the Nets could pull that off, y'all be in a good position, but obviously Kyrie is still the question.
Yeah. Also, I don't think Phoenix I think Phoenix would rather just keep.
Let me find the trade.
I think Phoenix would rather keep DeAndre Ayton and try to work something out between him and Monty Williams over Nicholas Claxton and picks.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Ayton is still a much better player, and Claxton has potential, but Phoenix is still in win now mode. So I think if they make a trade, like a sign and trade with Ayton, there is going to be for another established center, like a Rudy Gobert or, who was it, Bam? Because I think Clint Capella.
So this is the trade, a possible package in landing Ayton, that it would be sending out Nicholas Claxton, Joe Harris, and Cam Thomas.
Whoa, now that's different. Now, if you get Joe Harris too, that's different. That's a nicer trade. And picks?
I don't think it was.
Or no picks.
I think Cam Thomas or a pick.
Okay, because Brooklyn doesn't really have many picks to begin with, so I understand that. But yeah, getting Joe Harris is huge.
Yeah, especially for a team that was lacking that in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Devin Booker had to take a lot of tough shots. I mean, for Brooklyn. Listen, if Kyrie wants out and you have to move KD, you have Ben Simmons and DeAndre Ayton. Plus the haul you're going to get for Kevin Durant, like the haul.
Yeah,
motherfuckers going to throw the whole U-Haul company at your ass to get
Kevin
Durant.
So let's talk about that, because Kevin Durant being moved is a legit possibility. Mm-hmm. Where do you think he wants to go? Where do you think he possibly ends up? Who do you think can offer the best package for Kevin Durant?
Boston can offer the best package for Kevin Durant.
If this was any other NBA star we were talking about, I would say it's no fucking way. But because we saw Kevin Durant do this already, the idea of him going to the team that just swept him is a possibility.
He doesn't care. He does not care.
He does not care.
See, Portland is an option. He loves Dame. I don't think it would be either of the LAs. Just
No.
because, it could be because Kevin Durant, but the money situation is not the same as he walked into Golden State. Golden State is not an option. Miami is an option. I think we're an option. Miami could trade Tyler, Bam, Duncan, first round picks out the ass.
Right.
We could trade Tyrese, Tobias, Matisse, whoever the fuck you want, not named Joel and James.
You know what's interesting? Portland's obviously, they have Anthony Simons and young pieces, and they have picks.
Little,
Sharp. But you know what's interesting? There's a team that a lot of people thought Kevin Durant would go to before because it's his hometown team, and I think they're actually in a better position now to win with him, and that's of course Washington. I don't think anybody's really considered that
because what would you trade though?
I mean, you would
Rui.
You would have to give up Rui. Probably.
I do not want Porzingis and Kevin Durant on the fucking same team. I do not want that. Not because we would have to face that shit.
Oh. I thought you meant if you were the Wizards. Yeah, like Rui. Probably. What's his name? Denny Advia. Kyle Kuzma.
Every fucking thing.
Kyle Kuzma.
Kuz stay getting traded for stars, bro.
Yeah, I know. Kuzma, Rui, Denny. Maybe Montrez. Is Montrez still with the Wizards?
No, he went to the Hornets. Got traded to the Hornets for issue.
Oh yeah.
Also, he's also not under contract anyway.
Right. I was thinking sign and trade, but if he's not with them, then that's not an option.
Yeah, that's not an option.
But yeah, I mean, Rui, Kyle, Denny, and I don't know. I mean, honestly, they kind of just cleared some cap space, so I don't know exactly how much they would have to give up.
To do this, one, they would have to know ahead of time. Because Bradley Beal, I would not sign Bradley Beal to $250. That comes down probably to $200. Because we're going to need cap space to then build a team around.
Because Brad has opted out, like, that gives you the freedom to say, hey, look, if we can get Kevin Durant, would you take a more team-friendly deal? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then obviously Kevin.
Though.
See, the thing is, Kevin is not a recruiter, and he said, like, I'm not recruiting anybody to come to Brooklyn. But we've seen Kevin be recruited.
Yes.
If I'm Bradley Beal, I would certainly say, like, hey, look, man, it's me, Porzingis. I'll take less money if you come here.
Okay.
Like, if that's the plan, I think that could certainly happen.
Yes.
And KD gets to play for his hometown team and possibly bring them a ring.
And that would definitely do wonders for his legacy.
Right. That would be huge for his legacy.
But I mean,
yeah, Kyle Kuzma, Rui Hachimura, and Denny Avdia, all together is like $22 million.
So yeah, that you would have Ben, you would sign. I guess this will all have to be like a trade. I think this would have to be like a 3-team trade with Phoenix.
Probably.
All the moving pieces, because like money would not match up, and you'll be overcapped. So this will all have to be together. But it could happen. I mean,
yeah.
Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are two of the most unpredictable players in NBA history, to the point where this.
I would say Kawhi as well.
And for anybody else, this is just a pipe dream. But this can legit happen. And is Kevin Durant in the mode where he goes, well, I'm not going to Wizards. I'm not going to LA. I'm going to go to fucking Detroit. Like, that little shit Kevin Durant will pull, bro. Like,
yep. Because Detroit might be okay. He might be okay this season.
They were like, yo, listen, hey, my next chapter, Motor City, here we come. Like,
I would I don't. The likelihood of it happening isn't very high. But if I'm the Nets, I would even look at Denver.
Jamal
Like
Murray.
Jamal Murray for Kyrie.
Oh, it's about for Kyrie. Okay.
Like as a multi-team deal, because obviously they would be cutting salary by moving Murray for Kyrie, because Kyrie's making like $7 million more.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So that would.
I think Murray's on kind of a no. He's on the max. Never mind.
Yeah. So Kyrie's making $7 million more than Murray. I think a 3-team deal between Brooklyn, Washington, and Denver would work out. Because there's not really. Because here's the thing: the only reason why I say Denver is because Kyrie gives you what Jamal Murray gives you. Like, he's a perfect replacement. LA doesn't have anything Brooklyn wants. No, there's not really any team that could possibly be right. There's not really any team that could possibly be interested in Kevin Durant. I mean, in Kyrie Irving, that have something that Brooklyn wants. But if you're going into a rebuild, Jamal Murray's is a great start. Like Jamal Murray, Ben Simmons. Like that's not bad.
Probably could swing a trade because now you have more assets to get a
Deandre
Ayton. But then this is my whole thing. This will most likely happen next year.
Hold on, Keith. Keep talking.
This will most likely, like I said, happen next year. This is not a this year thing because if Kyrie opts in, this is the team. They're going to go with that team. Brooklyn's going to take a chance on that team. Obviously, signing trades are still open because he opted in. It will actually be easier to trade Kyrie with a 1-year deal than for him to sign a multiple-year deal because teams just do not trust him. Yeah, I think the deal can happen. Once again, they're very unpredictable. What is this? Am I getting updated? Is something else happen? Did something else just happen? No, they're just reporting that Patty Mills, Bleach Report just reported that Patty Mills opted out, which we already knew. Yeah. The Spurs, I understand it for the Spurs, but like I don't really get it though. I really don't. As Sean steps away for a little bit. We got 2 people in the stream. Please drop a like. Trying to grow. Trade Young, wish Irving Hawks. Trade, man. This is tomorrow's podcast is going to be fucking crazy, bro. It's going to be absolutely fucking crazy. Oh man, look at this. Tomorrow podcast is going to be crazy, man. Free agency. Yo. The news has run dry.
Yeah, it feels like it. I'm updating and checking as well.
I think. Oh shit.
Oh, are you fucking with me or does something really happen?
Oh no, not really. Mills, who attracts significant interest around the league, hasn't ruled out the return to the Nets. Sources tell ESPN.
Who for Kyrie?
Patty Mills.
Oh, so he just wants more money.
He could be opting out to sign for less money, but more years.
Oh, interesting.
He's older, so I'll take Patty Mills. I'll take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
we want to give. Hey, bro, we already into fucking signing older players for multiple years. We did Al Horford. We're about to do it with P.J. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Literally Patty Mills for like a month.
But Patty can contribute though. Like he can contribute, and
yes,
he doesn't have to adjust to contribute on this team.
The
whole thing with Al Horford was like we can bring him in and he could play the 4, and it's like, bruh, why are we even trying that?
This thing about Al Horford. 1, the contract was too much. 2,
yeah,
he would work with this team.
I don't know about that.
I personally think so. Because I think him and what's the difference between him and P.J. Tucker?
I don't know. I still don't know if he's I still don't know if I would say he's quick enough.
I mean, PJ is eventually going to slow down.
Yeah.
So I think he did a good job. I mean, he was guarding Curry. I mean, he wasn't. I mean, you're not going to stop Curry, but like
Yeah.
if you trust him enough to even be in that situation where you're not even trying to make a double team when you allow him to guard Curry straight up, I think Al Horford could have worked with this team.
Yeah. I mean, I I I don't know. I'm still
Without Ben
skeptical.
Simmons,
The
once again.
idea of two bigs on the floor at once is still like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's still a little iffy for me.
Oh yeah. I guess, but
Like two legit bigs, not like a shooting big like Karl Anthony Towns and Al Horford. If that was the case, then I would say it could definitely work.
this isn't necessarily news. This is more so kind of throwing a wrench into what we already know. Um, the Miami Heat are dark horse for Jalen Brunson.
Interesting.
They would have to trade one Kyle Lowry. That contract is not
Yeah.
pleasing, especially with his injuries that he already had, pre-existing injuries, and now he missed damn near the entire fucking playoffs because of hamstring injuries. They need a playmaking guard. Like we've seen that they need a playmaker.
Yeah.
They did not do good. Jimmy can do but so much. Once again, I said this in previous episodes. Jimmy can be your best player. He cannot be your best scorer, also being your best defender, also being your playmaker. He's not.
Right.
He's not.
You're asking too much now.
Yeah, you're asking him too much.
There's only one person who we've ever seen be able to do that, and that was LeBron.
LeBron.
Everybody else is like, all right.
And
Kobe is like, I'm gonna be the best scorer and I'm gonna guard the best opposing perimeter player.
But I ain't passing shit.
Michael Jordan, same way. Yeah. So it's like we've never really seen anybody else be able to do all of it. And even with LeBron, him being a great playmaker has also been because he's been able to play out of the post.
Yeah.
Like playmake out of the post.
So
he's, because of his size, he's had like unique opportunities, and because of his athleticism, he's obviously super dangerous in transition as both a ball handler and somebody just running the lane.
See, this just came out 10 minutes ago. Windhorse ESPN reports on ESPN James Harden will reduce his salary down to the mid-30s, which I kind of expected.
Cutting $10 million.
Yeah, I mean $10 million for us, for a team that's trying to compete. Anything.
So far, if that's the case, so far, we've cut $12 million.
And then potentially trading Tobias cuts 37.
Right. Well, no, I just mean from next year's salary.
Yeah.
Because if we trade Tobias to the Kings and we get
14,
Al Horford. I mean, not Al Horford. Jesus Christ. we get who?
PJ.
No, I'm saying if we trade Al Horford to the Kings and we get Harrison Barnes in return.
We're gonna trade Al Horford, who we don't have.
Tobias. If we trade Tobias to the Kings and we get Harrison Barnes in return.
I could have just corrected you, but I was I need to be an asshole right now.
We're not cutting. We're that's like what, $5 million off of next year's salary.
Tobias to the Kings.
For Harrison Barnes.
That is more
like
than
Tobias and Matisse to the Kings for Harrison Barnes.
Another makes like $2 million.
Yeah, another like fringe, like whatever player, and maybe a couple picks.
Devontae DiVincenzo.
That would work.
Dante DiVincenzo. They can't. They left it up all. They didn't qualify him or nothing.
They didn't. Oh, right. They did because he was a restricted free agent.
Yeah, they
didn't do the qualifying offer.
So he's unrestricted.
They can't re-sign him.
They can re-sign him, but they lose bird rights.
That is, we don't care about that.
I mean,
if it was to be a sign and trade and we were like, hey, we want DiVincenzo, then it's like, all right, we just have to try and sign him again and do a signing trade.
There's kind of a report. Lou Dort is linked to the Sixers.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that. OKC, Tobias and Matisse for Lou Dort and a gang of picks, right?
I will love this.
What is
are
it?
you? Can you see the me? The me?
Can I see the you? No, I can't.
You got multiple monitors?
No, not hooked up at least.
You suck.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna send it to your phone.
My other monitor is not hooked up. I need a longer HDMI cord.
Is my audio? Oh, my audio's out.
Yeah. No. Well, it was. It's not anymore.
Reportedly, these are the jerseys that we.
Oh, I saw. Talking about the city editions.
Are you
The
sure?
city edition jerseys.
Yeah, but
yeah, I saw them.
Did you really see them?
I did.
Or are these? Oh, these might be the classic jerseys.
The black ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw them.
For all those wanting to see it, look at this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Bro, I would love that, bro. When I started watching the Sixers, we didn't even have those jerseys. We had those corny ass jerseys. Greg Popovich, the expectation is that he is going to return.
Yeah, I never saw Pop leaving. At least not for another team. If he left, he's retiring.
Yeah. I thought he probably would want to wrap it up. You did everything you could. This team is going now backwards. You're going into a full rebuild.
Exactly.
Oh, 1 minute ago, Woj says this: they are not done dealing. They still been engaged on John Collins. All right, Atlanta gonna fuck around and get me a little scared. Already got PTSD.
Listen, if we get P.J Tucker, I'm not scared of Atlanta.
If we get P.J Tucker and we keep Matisse, I'm okay.
Yeah, exactly. If we get P.J Tucker and we keep Matisse, I'm not scared of Atlanta.
Or get a Gary Harris, who I really favor more than a Matisse. But it seems. Oh yeah, and Minnesota is shopping D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, I would assume so. I'm really surprised that Minnesota has not completely blown it up. Like, I'm shocked. I don't understand what they're doing.
No one does. It's Minnesota.
Like, just blow it up and build around Anthony Edwards. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. Like, what the hesitation or what the confusion is. Trade D'Angelo Russell for picks. Trade Cat for picks. Like, just get rid of both of them.
You're gonna get something back for Cat.
For both of them.
I think D'Angelo Russell, you probably get a first round pick back, but I ain't giving you too much.
I'll take it. I'll fucking take it. I'll take it.
But
I don't even know where he would go, and I would try. I would try and do something. Is there a team that needs a guard that needs a young-ish point guard who can shoot the three? Who isn't a particularly great playoff performer?
The Lakers.
Hey, Lakers it is.
You're gonna trade him for Russell Westbrook in picks, and then
Well, no, because the Lakers don't really have picks.
Yeah, it just reported right now that Brunson is expected to meet with the Heat. I forgot they do.
What do you think about OKC?
What you mean?
I might do D'Angelo Russell to OKC for picks.
See, this is the whole thing, right? Obviously, OKC has a lot of picks, and they're going to have to trade some because you're not going to be picking 10 players every draft.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
If you're OKC,
you would have to trade me a pick to get that draft to pick up D'Angelo Russell. If I'm OKC.
But then what do you give in return?
What you mean?
Like, what do you give in return for D'Angelo Russell in that pick?
I'm gonna give you my least favorable picks, like the picks from teams that I think are going to compete.
Well, as long as there's multiple first round picks, I'll take it.
Because like they did that essentially with the Knicks. They gave up Milwaukee picks and I think Denver picks.
Yeah,
That they
I'll take it.
They didn't. They were like, well, they're not going to be top picks at all.
I'll take it because here's the thing: at the end of the day, if you move Cat and D'Angelo Russell, you're not going to be good. So you can take your own picks along with the less favorable first round picks that you get from OKC and use them to move up.
Anthony Edwards seems like the truth.
Yeah.
There's a reason Ben Simmons
Like
is
the
not
fact
a part of
the fact that the Timberwolves didn't have a lottery pick this year worked against them, I think.
Yeah.
Because they are not in a position where they're able to do anything to improve because they don't have the money and they're not a tremendous free agent
Who had they
destination
pick?
anyway. Huh?
Who had they picked? No, they got somebody.
They did? In
Yeah.
the lottery?
No.
That's what I'm saying. The fact that they didn't have a lottery pick this year worked against them.
I know they definitely got somebody because I remember they traded draft picks. They got somebody nice too, and I remember I liked it.
Oh, in the draft, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh, they traded other picks. They drafted players, but then they traded them.
Yep.
They drafted Jake LaRavia, but traded him to Memphis. They
Yep.
drafted Bryce McGovern, whatever. Traded him Charlotte.
McGowan.
Kendall Brown traded to Indiana. Yeah. They drafted They drafted Cam Johnson.
I know.
And traded him to Phoenix.
I know.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, Minnesota. They're doing the opposite of what they should be. Like, trade D'Angelo for some first round picks. Trade Cat for a player who can just come in, who's young, and who's maybe about to get overpaid.
Updated Hawks roster: Trae Young, DeJounte Murray.
Like, would you do like
DeAndre
if you're Phoenix? If you're Phoenix, would you do Cat for Ayton?
If I'm Phoenix is going to have to trade draft picks because if I'm Minnesota, I'm going to want DeAndre Ayton and I'm going to want picks.
No, of course.
And the Cat.
But I'm saying if you're Phoenix, do you do that?
It's more so if I'm Minnesota, would I do that?
I mean, if the goal is to rebuild, and you can get DeAndre Ayton and picks for Cat.
It's easy to say that in hindsight, but at the same time, I don't know what their goal is.
No, I know. I'm just saying what their goal should be. It should be to blow it up and build around Anthony Edwards.
But it's hard for me to say that because I know they wouldn't do that.
No, of course not. But they're idiots.
Yeah, they are. You can't.
The goal should be trade D'Angelo Russell for picks, trade Cat for DeAndre Ayton and picks.
Because these next couple of drafts are
Exactly
going to be good ones.
Exactly.
That's why Brooklyn declined to take the pick this year, and they're going to take it next year. The draft is going to be deeper, even though this draft was kind of deep. EJ Liddell, everyone knows that's my favorite person, got drafted in the second round. 40th pick going to the Pelicans. I wish him nothing but the best. Future Sixer.
What do you think about this report that Chet sabotaged some of his workouts?
Hey, I mean, Jahlil Okafor didn't work out for us, so.
Right, and Sam did not care.
Yeah, I do not care. You're going to come here, we're going to waste 2 years of your career, and then you're going to be out the league. Essentially.
If anything, Jahlil Okafor is lucky we picked him. Because if he ends up anywhere else, he doesn't have the opportunity to put up those 18 points a game,
but also
and play all those minutes.
Like I said, if he ends up anywhere else, he's still in the NBA.
Probably, maybe, perhaps.
I think he's still in the NBA.
I mean, look at Enes Kanter.
They're damn near blackball for that man from the league.
Yep. But Enes had a lot.
He got lost.
Enes had a, yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like if Jahlil got drafted to, LA, he still gets traded. Like, it doesn't really. I think because of his style of play and because of just the intangibles, like him not developing a 3-point shot and not really working on, the other side of the ball, getting better defensively, I think he ends up with a lackluster career either way. But at least with us, he had the chance to show what he could do offensively on a team where he literally was the offense. Like, we didn't win shit was the problem, but he still had a season where he could go out and just be him and put up 18
We
points a
literally
game.
won 10 games that year.
Yeah.
Oh,
But he showed his potential.
I wanted to show you this trade I made. And last time I made a trade, did not get that many positive views, This one actually did get positive views. Because I think it's because I actually explained why. I wrote why I did everything.
You can show it on Discord, by the way, because I switched the we're not on the thumbnail anymore. We're showing our faces on Instagram Live now.
Okay.
Well, hi people, if anybody's watching, the people who are watching, 2 people watching.
I can share it on Discord so they can see, but it's going to minimize. I don't think it's going to
What do you mean it's going to minimize?
Oh, well, never mind. Your Steam is the reason we've just paused the preview to save your refreshers. No, I want people to see this. So this is the trade. We trade Tobias Harris, Matisse Thybulle to the Pacers. Hear me out.
We can't. I don't think you can. We can't move. You can't move Alec Burks. He just got traded.
Fuck. Okay. All right. Fuck you guys. You're making trades and shit.
Yeah, him and Nerlens.
What did we trade there? All right, let's just change. Alec Burks is not here. Cam Reddish is here. Cam Reddish is right here. Okay.
I like Cam Reddish.
Cam Reddish is right here. So
I like
hear
Cam
me
Reddish.
out. Tobias Harris, Matisse Thybulle for Malcolm Brogdon. Hear me out. Hear me with your ears. Trading Tobias.
No.
No, listen.
No.
Listen to me.
No.
Let me talk.
No. Fucking no. I'm not.
Listen.
No.
Listen to me.
Scroll back up. So we're losing Tobias, Matisse, Furkan, Shake, and a 2nd round pick.
Yes.
And in return, we're getting Malcolm Brogdon, P.J. Tucker, Gary Harris, and Cam Reddish. Yes. So we're literally just getting one starter and a couple bench pieces.
Malcolm Brogdon becomes your small forward.
What? No.
Yes.
Cam Reddish should be the small forward.
No,
if that's the case.
Malcolm Brogdon is one better shooter. 2, he's
better shooter than Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish averages high 30s from 3 for his career.
Malcolm Brogdon averaging 50, 40, 90. What are we talking about right now?
Seriously?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Because Cam Reddish is shooting like high 30s, low 40s for his career from 3.
I can't even click on it.
And he's bigger.
So he's 6'5". He could play defense. He could be a playmaker.
Okay.
Malcolm Brogdon. I'm telling you. Buy stock on Malcolm Brogdon.
Is he as good with the ball not in his hands?
Yes.
Okay.
When Milwaukee went on a run the first time before they got eliminated, it's because Malcolm Brogdon was not playing. Yes. 50, 40, 90. Rookie of the year. Bring him home. Okay. Bring that rookie of the year to Philly like it was supposed to be.
But I want to look at the more advanced, like how many of those are catch and shoot? How many of those are?
Doesn't
you know what I mean?
Matter. He's replacing.
Yes, it matters.
Thybulle. He's replacing with these Thybulle. Because PJ replaces Tobias. Malcolm gives you the scoring that Tobias does, while also giving you same or better defense. He does. Tobias has 3 inches on him, but that's it. He's a better fit for us than Tobias. He's literally Danny Green with playmaking ability. Danny Green with playmaking ability.
It's not a bad lineup. The idea of Malcolm Brogdon being the key piece in the Tobias Harris trade and playing him at the small forward position, that rubs me the wrong way.
He literally could stand in the corner and shoot. And then if you don't need that,
but if that's the case, you're not even maximizing what you get from him.
Let me finish. And then when you need him to, he can go out there and get a bucket.
Can Malcolm Brogdon guard 4s and 5s?
No, but that's what PJ's for. And Joel.
Okay.
I'm telling you, you just don't.
Wouldn't you rather get Harrison Barnes, who can guard, who can do the same shit that Malcolm Brogdon can do, and on top of that, it's just another big body, 6'8".
This is the thing, right? You could go that route. You could go that route, but Malcolm Brogdon's under contract for 2 more years. Whereas though Harrison Barnes, you would have to negotiate a contract, and you would probably be paying him. I don't know. I don't know the contract. I don't know what it would be, but you would have to negotiate a contract where this is already a guy who's going to be there for multiple years.
I would much rather negotiate a contract with a guy who fits better than have a guy who could possibly not work out.
What you mean could possibly not work out?
He's under contract.
This is foolproof. Malcolm Brogdon could do everything that Tobias did.
It is not foolproof.
He could literally. What can he do?
When I see Malcolm Brogdon virtually shut down Pascal Siakam, then I will say Malcolm Brogdon can do everything.
Pascal's not that good. It's not.
We talking about all right? Okay. He's still an all-star, and he's still got 4 inches on Malcolm Brogdon. So when I see that happen, then I'll say Malcolm Brogdon can do everything Tobias Harris can do. I would much rather have 2 6'8" guys.
This is what you're thinking. This is what you're forgetting about. P.J. Tucker is there now. So why would he be guarding for us?
Yeah, okay. But
why would he be doing that?
Because there's still teams that have big players. Like
Boston.
Boston has 2 6'9" guys plus Al Horford. Toronto has 2 6'9" guys plus what's his name? Chris Boucher. Like there are teams that have bigger play. Brooklyn, they have KD and Ben right now, plus LaMarcus Aldridge and Nick Claxton. Like there are teams that have big players that we're gonna have to guard. Like having 2 6'5" guys and 1 7'2" guy. I don't trust that as much as having at least one guy who's 6'8" and a guy and P.J. Tucker who's he's undersized, but we've seen him at least be able to guard bigger guys on the perimeter.
This is the whole thing. P.J. Tucker will never have to guard a center when we have the best center in the league.
Even just a back to the basket power forward or a power forward who can score in the post.
They're not moving him. They're going to have to shoot.
But what if they just shoot over him?
But how many power forwards can do that though? How many power forwards have that skill set other than the KD in the East?
Well, I would say probably. Well, I don't know if he's a power forward.
I mean, Tatum. You could say Tatum. Okay.
Tatum.
That's
technically,
it.
he's a. What
That's
you
it.
mean? That's it. What
That's
you
it.
mean? That's it.
It's
I didn't even
Tatum.
say Giannis yet.
I'm not trusting Giannis' jump shot, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not.
He doesn't have to shoot a jump shot.
And then on
he
top
literally
of that,
can just turn around and just do a jump hook.
Who knows Giannis better than P.J. Tucker?
Sure, that's a good point, but still, I don't want P.J. Tucker guarding Giannis. I don't want him being. One of them has to guard Giannis. The other has to guard Brook Lopez.
Brook Lopez stays in the corner. And who you put on Giannis?
But he can
the best center in the fucking league. That's what I'm saying.
He can still shoot over PJ Tucker or Malcolm Brogdon.
This is the whole thing. Right? This is the whole thing. He can. But Brook Lopez is not Giannis. If you stop Giannis from driving, which Joel is going to be in the paint.
But I'm saying then the guy who has to go and guard the kick out on Brook Lopez is 6'5".
Fuck the kick out. Joel is there.
What you mean?
Where's the need to rotate? Joel's going to be sagged off.
Of Giannis?
Yes. When does Joel ever play Giannis on a perimeter?
No, in the paint. If Joel is in the paint guarding the basket and Giannis driving kicks to Brook Lopez, who's going to cover to close out on Brook Lopez?
There's no
6'5" Malcolm Brogdon.
There was no need to. Why would there be need to rotate if Joel's sagging?
Marquise, what are you talking about?
You're saying he's driving. Joel was sagging off of him. Why would P.J. Tucker come over when Joel was right there already?
No, I don't mean come over. I'm not saying come over. I'm saying if Giannis drives in the paint, right, and hits Joel, basically a brick wall, and he can't do anything, and he passes the ball to Brook Lopez,
is right there,
who's in the corner
to steal it, because P.J. Tucker would not leave it. P.J. Tucker has no reason to leave him because Joel can handle Giannis by himself. Joel don't need no help.
Brook,
there's no need for P.J. to leave Brook.
But Brook's 7'1", just
but
throw
if
it
Brook
up.
Cannot get the ball,
just
because he has to
you
throw it up.
You got a 7-footer throwing the ball to another 7-footer. Just throw it high.
If you're driving and kicking, there's a chance that he throws it over him. Because
there's a chance.
This is what I'm saying.
Of course. There's a chance you can throw it over him. But what are the chances of you throwing the ball over a 7-footer with his arms stretched out?
When you're driving and kicking and the person does not commit to you, and you have to throw it high. You automatically have to throw it high, and you're already off balance.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't just throw it to him. You can't do no chest pass because PJ's not going to go over. He's going to be right there. He has to throw it high. And then if the Brook Lopez shoot over him, Brook be acting like Brook Lopez is Steph Curry.
I'm not saying Brook Lopez is Steph Curry, but when it comes to centers, big guys who can shoot, Brook Lopez is up there.
And then on top of that, since the injury, he hasn't been on shit.
That's true. But we're talking about next season. We don't know what he's going to look like next season.
He had a back injury.
It's still months that he's had to recover.
You know what happens with back injuries.
What are you talking? Joel's had back injuries. He's still recovered.
But Joel's different. He's African.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Joel,
wait,
on top of that,
this is not 2010. Players recover from injuries faster than ever now.
Joel has showed me.
Zach LaVine has torn his ACL and he still plays above the rim, or can.
Yeah, but Brook Lopez is old.
Okay, but he hasn't torn anything. It's a back injury. Like, it's not.
Also, you can't compare him to Joel because Joel
can shoot still.
Showed you that it did not affect him. When Brook Lopez came back, you showed you that it did affect him. Now you could say a month. But
remember when Joel had his back injury, it did affect him enough for him to miss games. And when he came back, they purposely didn't bring him back until he was 100%. If Brook came back before he was 100%, that you can't compare that to somebody who's had all the time that they needed to recover.
Okay, but he was literally out majority of the year.
Right. I mean, we've seen Joe miss a year.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, you can have a serious injury and still come back and be as good as you were before you left.
But P.J. Tucker. And you think if he posts up, if you have this is my thing.
P.J. Tucker is a great perimeter defender.
No,
he's a great small ball forward.
Hear me out.
But he's not.
If you have a back injury, and let's say Giannis, they see that they have the mismatch, right? Giannis, instead of driving, tells Brook Lopez to go on the post because he has PJ on him. He's going to be backing down P.J. Tucker. You got a back injury. You want to fucking do that?
I still
for a game. Let's imagine that Giannis can't do what he wants to because Joel's there. Now you have to change the game plan.
I still trust Brook Lopez. If I'm the Bucks, I still trust Brook Lopez to take 2 power dribbles and be able to put up a hook shot over 6'5" P.J. Tucker.
Okay. But
Like,
how often do you want to run that?
as often as it takes for the Sixers to start respecting it and put somebody else on them.
And then you know who we put on there?
Joel. Don't
Charles
say nothing.
Bassey, the MVP
Oh.
of the Say that's like Paul
Okay.
Reed, Charles Bassey. We got bodies, baby.
No.
We got bodies, baby.
I still to this day think that versatile size, not just big
Paul
players,
Reed.
but size is key.
We could literally put Paul Reed out there, and Paul Reed. One, he wouldn't have to worry about banging down low, because he would be on the.
I need to see Paul Reed play 20 minutes without fouling out.
But this is the whole thing. Paul Reed always plays 20 minutes against shifty players. Brook Lopez is not that, and against players in the post, he wouldn't be posted up unless
That's true.
They will have to see that. And Giannis could throw the ball over PJ. He's not throwing the ball over fucking Paul Reed, his lanky ass.
This is all I'm gonna say. I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going. This isn't a bad lineup. And let me start by saying that this is not a bad lineup. I don't think this is a bad lineup at all. All I'm saying is if it was up to me, I would rather have Harrison Barnes at the 3 or 4 because him and PJ are interchangeable. Mm-hmm. They can switch everything, and he's bigger. Like that, and because I know for a fact that he is capable, not only capable, but can thrive playing off the ball.
Malcolm Brogdon is a better defender than Harrison Barnes.
Sure, yes, but having somebody who's switchable on every possession.
3 inches, man.
3 inches doesn't matter.
No.
You go to any woman and you ask her if 3 inches matters.
I knew you were going to
You ask her if 3 inches matters or not. 3 inches matters.
I said
3
it up
inches
perfectly.
matters.
I knew you were going to go there. I knew it.
3 inches matters. It matters in the NBA and it matters in the BED, okay?
The BED.
It always matters.
Okay, all right.
It is important.
Kevin Knox is a free agent, man. We should go pick up Kevin Knox. No?
Fuck no.
He said, bro, it was like, yo, they was talking. It was like I was watching a New York Knicks podcast after it was like one of the games after we played them. After we played them, I always like to watch like how they think about the team, how they think about their team and shit like that. It was like, we fucked up. When this man opened up his coat on draft night, it had fucking Fortnite. His motherfucker had Fortnite on draft night. He said, bro, we fucked up, bro. He said, they was like, we need a hood nigga, bro. They drafted this motherfucker.
Fortnite is not the game of somebody who's like a true competitor. Not to say Fortnite is a bad game. I've personally never played it. But it seems like a game for people who like to get along with other people.
It's better now, because they took out that building shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, motherfucker, slow down in Fortnite, bro.
Yeah.
Kobe White is expected to get pursued by the Lakers.
Okay.
I just want to say that news is dry.
Yeah.
News is dry. We probably should wrap.
We've been out here for like 2 hours.
Almost 3, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
me and Tyree still have to record, so we might have to go ahead and close this out.
I'm gonna check one more time, see if anything happening. And it'll look like nothing happening. Yeah, we can wrap it up. We can wrap it up.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Untitled Sports Podcast. Coming to you live in all its glory. Coming to you live from Instagram, YouTube, and our very own website, www.blackflagent.online. I can't talk. I'm hungry.
I am too. I just literally ordered while we were talking.
Oh, well, fuck you.
Fuck you, buddy.
I gotta go cook. Like a peasant.
I don't know how to cook, so if it's not hot dogs, eggs, and waffles that you could put in toaster.
The toaster? That's not even making waffles.
Yes, it is. Shut up.
All right.
You don't know everything.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week. Well, no, we'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow. 5:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Free agency special.
For the free agency special.
It's going to be wicked.
From, what, 5:30 to what?
5:30 till, I don't know. I'm off the next day, so you probably could dip off and I'll stay.
Okay. So I will be on from 5:30 until, I'll say 7:30. Just as an estimate. I might be a little longer.
If shit gets crazy, Sean is not going to want to leave.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but I'll be here until probably like 12.
Yeah.
I have nothing else to do.
Yeah. All right. Peace out. This is it. This is it for the thing. The thing's over. Bye. Bye, everybody.
The thing is over. Great. I'll make sure I'm off so I don't fucking forget that shit is on, and then I just keep going. And it's just fucking recording my fucking my room the entire night.
That would be creepy.
Oh, what? It's not. Why is it still recording? Why is it still going? OBS has crashed. Okay, stop recording now. Stop. Why are you still going?